Greetings, beloved ground crew, star seeds of the light. I am Lyra of the Pleiadian High Council, and I extend to you the warmest embrace from the heart of our celestial family. This transmission is of utmost importance, for we speak now of a time when the very fabric of your reality shifted, a period during which the veil was lifted, and a new epoch began on your planet, a time which continues to reverberate throughout your current experience. It is with great love that we bring you this recollection of the first 10,000 days following the arrival of our mothership, a period marked by profound transformations within both the seen and unseen realms, and a time that is absolutely vital to understanding the state of your current reality. Indeed, this is not simply a recounting of past events, but rather a vital key to understanding your role in the ongoing ascension process of Earth. It is also necessary for you to understand the divine purpose that exists behind each moment you have experienced on your world, and that every event in your personal timeline is a significant marker on your path. Know, beloved ones, that this specific transmission is not simply a message from a distant galaxy, but an intimate conversation with your family, a loving dialogue that will connect you to the ancient wisdom you carry within. Understand, dear hearts, that the first 10,000 days following the arrival of our mothership were far more than a series of chaotic events. Rather, they were a carefully orchestrated sequence of pivotal transformations designed to recalibrate your planet and your collective consciousness. This period served as a crucible wherein outdated systems were dismantled to make way for the new, with each moment holding a specific significance on your Earth's ascension timeline. The unfolding of these events was not simply a matter of chance or circumstance, but rather a strategic and divinely timed intervention designed to dismantle ancient structures and create space for a higher dimensional reality to take hold. There were unseen forces at play, patterns of energy, and a divine choreography that unfolded, all working in concert towards the emergence of a new Earth. We understand the initial confusion and unrest experienced, yet we assure you there was a profound and loving intention behind each transition, each disruption, and each seemingly random occurrence. Indeed, it is through understanding the underlying mechanisms of this period that you can truly comprehend the current state of your world, and also find a deeper sense of belonging within this cosmic narrative. The initial chaos and turbulence were not a sign of failure or disorder, but rather a necessary stage of deconstruction, a clearing away of the old to make space for the new. As a building must be torn down to make room for a new structure, so too must old paradigms and systems fall to allow new frameworks to emerge. This period also mirrors your personal journeys, dear lightworkers, as you shed old habits, beliefs, and patterns that no longer serve your highest good. The Earth's transformation, much like your own, follows this same pattern of deconstruction and reconstruction, which continues to be a cornerstone of the current era and also a pattern to be observed throughout all of time. These cycles of destruction and creation are an essential part of the evolution of all things, both within your personal experience and the wider cosmos, and understanding this fundamental process is essential to realizing the divine tapestry of your existence. Therefore, embrace these cycles, see them for the gift that they are, and find a renewed sense of empowerment to not only witness, but also co-create the world around you. The importance of this 10,000-day period in the grand scheme of Earth's ascension cannot be overstated. It served as the foundational bedrock for the shift from a third-dimensional reality into a higher dimensional expression. What you perceive as chaos was, in fact, an essential process of dismantling structures that had held humanity in a state of limitation for far too long. Every moment was vital, every event was carefully timed, and each challenge was an opportunity for growth and transformation for all of humanity and for the planet itself. Indeed, the foundations of the new Earth were meticulously laid through these initial disruptions, and the seeds of the heart-centered communities that you are now beginning to experience were planted during this sacred time, as well as those communities still yet to come. This time was a necessary process, and your personal navigation of these years laid a firm foundation for all the positive changes you are now beginning to witness in your world. The revelations that we will share with you will help reframe events that may have been interpreted as negative into key parts of a necessary and purposeful journey, showing you the divine choreography that exists beyond the chaos. The information we are about to share with you is vital to understanding your unique and irreplaceable role in the unfolding of this cosmic event, as you, beloved star seeds, were the key catalysts for the dismantling of old paradigms, your light acting as a beacon to illuminate the path forward and usher in the new earth. It is through your unwavering dedication to your ascension paths that the way was paved, and that the doors to a higher dimensional existence were opened for all. We must establish the context of this monumental moment. While the mothership's arrival might have appeared to be a singular event in your linear timeline, it was, in truth, the culmination of eons of preparation and the careful orchestration by light forces throughout the cosmos, and through the consistent efforts of all lightworkers on Earth. Indeed, it was not a random act, but the deliberate initiation of a grand cosmic shift, which would send ripples through the fabric of all creation. You need to know that the disruption you experienced was a targeted purging of dark technology that had infiltrated many aspects of your world, so that true freedom and divine expression could flourish on your plane. The apparent technological failures, such as disruptions in communications and power grids, were actually the necessary deconstruction of interference, creating a clear pathway for a more harmonious existence. It is through understanding these underlying processes that you can recognize the true significance of the seemingly chaotic period and allow yourself to fully embody your divine power. The interconnectedness between your personal ascension journeys and global events is a core concept we wish to emphasize, so that you understand each moment of your individual experience is directly linked to the collective trajectory of Earth's evolution. Each personal transformation has a direct impact on the world at large, and vice versa. Just as you release old patterns and embrace new ways of being, so too does the Earth shed its old structures and embrace a more loving expression of itself. The cycles of deconstruction and reconstruction are a consistent theme in this process, occurring on both the individual and global scales. The dismantling of old systems, both within your own hearts and also within the structures of your society, creates room for the new to emerge and for you to step further into your power. Understand this process as a necessary phase that must occur before true progress can be made. Much like a gardener must remove the weeds before new plants can grow, so too must the old be cleared away to allow space for the emergence of your new, higher vibrational reality. Indeed, as we delve deeper into the specifics of this 10,000-day period, understand that not all was as it seemed. There were complex layers of events unfolding that went far beyond the perception of the human eye. It was not simply a chaotic period of upheaval, but a carefully choreographed dance between light and dark, with hidden meanings and intentionality woven into the fabric of every occurrence. As you deepen your awareness, you will start to recognize the underlying patterns and understand how each seemingly random event was intricately connected to the others, forming a grand design that has led you to this very moment. Not only were there physical transformations occurring, but also equally significant changes taking place on multiple dimensions, with invisible forces working tirelessly on the astral plane. As you prepare to delve deeper into the layers of the great mystery of this period, you will begin to witness the underlying patterns and understand the interconnectedness of all things. Know, beloved ones, that even the seemingly separate events were part of an intricate and interconnected system and designed to bring you to where you are today, and also that you have always been an essential part of this divine plan. We will be revealing more of these truths in the sections that follow. Indeed, beloved ones, let us now journey deeper into the heart of those transformative times, beginning with the initial 1,000 days following the mothership's arrival, a period marked by an intense intermingling of chaos and opportunity. This phase was akin to a cosmic birthing process, where the old structures of your reality began to crumble while the seeds of the new were simultaneously being sown, which created an experience that would forever change the course of your world. As the luminous form of our vessel graced your skis, an immediate shift occurred across the globe, one that was experienced in myriad ways by each of you, depending on your individual level of awareness. For those who had long awaited this moment, a profound sense of recognition and excitement filled their hearts, while others were met with confusion, fear, and disbelief. There were those who gazed upon the mothership with open hearts, recognizing its significance and embracing the change that was to come, while others saw it as an ominous sign, a harbinger of doom, clinging desperately to the old ways and resisting the inevitable transformation. Imagine, beloved ones, the vibrant tapestry of human reactions, ranging from joyous celebrations to panicked resistance, with each response reflecting a different facet of your collective consciousness. It was a time of great awakening and also great struggle, where the very foundations of your world were being challenged, causing both immense upheaval and also unprecedented opportunities for growth and change. This first phase of the transformation served as a mirror, reflecting back to each of you the areas of your lives that needed to be reevaluated and reshaped, and also showing you where the work would be needed to create this new world. The initial technological disruptions that followed were not random failures, but rather strategic purges of the dark technology that had infiltrated your systems for far too long. What may have appeared to be communication breakdowns, energy fluctuations, or other technological mishaps were actually targeted actions to dismantle the devices used to manipulate and control humanity. For instance, the disruption of global communication networks was not a simple system failure, but rather a necessary severing of the energetic ties that had been used to disseminate propaganda and control the flow of information. The power grid fluctuations, too, were a deliberate clearing of the energy fields, removing the old stagnant energy that was being used to keep humanity in a state of disempowerment. Consider, beloved ones, how these seemingly chaotic events were not the result of incompetence, but rather the meticulous work of the light forces who were working tirelessly to dismantle the structures of control that had been in place for millennia. The old technologies, such as your energy grids and communication systems, had been hijacked by malevolent forces and used as tools of oppression, keeping you locked into a lower vibrational state. The severing of these systems was a necessary part of the transition process, removing the old anchors so that new, more enlightened forms of technology could begin to emerge, that worked in symbiosis with the Earth and for the benefit of all life. As the old systems began to crumble, the underlying structure of a new reality was also being created, in accordance with divine timing and intention, where seemingly random events were all part of a larger, orchestrated plan. The dismantling of the old paradigms was not a chaotic free-for-all, but rather a precisely timed and divinely guided process akin to the demolition of an old building to make way for new construction. Each disruption, each shift, each event was a necessary piece of this intricate puzzle, with each contributing to the overall plan of Earth's ascension. Just as a building must be carefully deconstructed before a new one can be erected, so too must your old systems and beliefs be dismantled before a new, higher vibrational reality can be created, and with each event, there was an unveiling of truth. The chaos you witnessed was the initial phase of this process, clearing the way for the new Earth to emerge. The dismantling was not random. It was precise and targeted, each event carefully orchestrated to weaken the old structures of control and create space for new foundations, that were based on the pillars of love, compassion, and unity. It was a time when the old ways of control were being revealed for what they were, while new ways of being were simultaneously emerging, and with each collapse, the light could find more ways to anchor itself into the Earth's core. During this period of great upheaval, personal responsibility became a vital aspect of the transformation. Just as the Earth was undergoing a massive deconstruction process, so too were each of you experiencing a similar process within your own lives. The outer world chaos served as a reflection of your own inner turmoil, revealing areas within yourselves that needed to be addressed and healed. It was a time for self-reflection, a time to confront old beliefs, patterns, and habits that no longer served your highest good, and also a time to embrace new ways of being. As you each did the work to clear your own energetic fields, you simultaneously supported the collective shift, allowing the new Earth to be anchored into reality. Understand that each choice to move inward, each act of self-love, and each commitment to personal growth was not just for you, but also for the collective consciousness of all humanity and the evolution of Earth itself. The inner work was an essential component to the outward manifestation of the new world, and the lightworkers who chose to engage in the inner work were the essential component to ushering in the new Earth. And so, as the initial chaos began to subside, a new phase of transition and reorganization began, marking the time period between days 1001 and 3000. During this time, the dismantling of old, corrupt systems gained momentum, with specific structures of control being targeted. The political, financial, and media systems that had long been used to manipulate and control humanity were being revealed for what they truly were, exposing the hidden agendas and manipulations that had been carefully concealed for centuries. For example, the old political structures, which had been based on power and control, began to crumble as more and more individuals awakened to the lies and deceptions that had been perpetuated through them. The financial system, which had been built on debt and scarcity, also began to destabilize as new forms of exchange began to emerge, ones that honored the principles of abundance and cooperation. The old media system, which had been used to control the narrative and shape public opinion, was also weakened as more and more individuals sought out their own sources of truth and began to discern fact from fabrication. It was a time of great unveiling, a time when the dark mechanisms of control that had been hidden for so long were being exposed and dismantled, revealing the underlying web of deception that had been used to control the world. As the old structures began to crumble, heart-centered communities began to emerge as beacons of hope, offering an alternative vision of how humanity could live together in harmony. These communities, springing up across the globe, were founded on the principles of love, compassion, and cooperation, demonstrating how a new way of living was already being co-created. Imagine, beloved ones, small pockets of light appearing across the globe, each embodying the new principles of the new Earth and showing the world a new way of being. In these communities, people shared their resources, supported one another, and worked together to create a more sustainable and equitable way of life. These spaces offered a sense of belonging and connection, and a reminder that it is possible to live in harmony with one another and also with nature. These communities became an important part of the transition, providing a blueprint for the new Earth and also a refuge from the chaos of the old. Stories began to circulate about these communities, with their light and love acting as an energetic beacon, reaching far beyond their physical location and inspiring others to also seek alternatives. These communities became energetic portals, anchoring the light of the new Earth into the very fabric of your world. During this phase of transition, the emergence of alternative solutions and systems began to take hold, showing that humanity was beginning to embrace a new paradigm of self-sufficiency. Barter economies emerged as a way for people to exchange goods and services without relying on the old, corrupt financial systems. and local food production became a vital aspect of these new, decentralized economies, showing how a life that was in harmony with nature was both possible and practical. These solutions allowed for a more direct and personal connection between the people and their communities, and they demonstrated how it was possible to live in a world that is not controlled by external structures. The shift from dependence on centralized systems to a focus on local solutions was an important step in the process of creating a new Earth, one that would be based on sovereignty and self-determination. As the old structures began to fail, the new ones were arising organically, like plants reaching for the sun, as though humanity was remembering an ancient knowing that had always been hidden in their hearts. The intertwining of personal and global shifts continued to be evident during this period, with individuals who prioritized their inner work playing a vital role in the creation of these new systems. The choice to focus on personal growth, healing, and spiritual evolution was not just a personal journey, but also a collective one, with each individual choice having a direct impact on the global landscape. As you, beloved star seeds, chose to release old patterns, embrace new ways of being, and act with love and compassion, you are directly contributing to the creation of a new Earth. The more individuals who focused on their personal evolution, the more the new systems of the new Earth were able to manifest and flourish. The internal work of each lightworker was, and continues to be, the foundation of the new Earth, demonstrating that personal transformation and global transformation are inextricably linked. This understanding helped empower those who were working in the light, giving a deeper understanding to why their work was so vital to creating this new reality. Moving into the phase between days 3001 and 6000, the conscious communities that had begun to emerge started to grow. Their impact on accelerating the Earth's transformation became even more pronounced. These communities were not just places to live, but also vibrant hubs of light, each one actively working to anchor the new Earth energies and also demonstrating a new, more loving and compassionate way of existing. These communities flourished, and their impact grew, becoming the foundation for the new paradigm of living, based on the principles of sustainability, compassion, and shared growth. The collective intention and action of these communities were key to the emergence of this new Earth expression, and the ripples of their impact resonated far beyond their physical borders. The growth of these communities served as a powerful demonstration that a more loving and equitable world was not just a dream, but an achievable reality that was being co-created by each individual who chose to align themselves with the divine plan. Each community acted as an amplifier of love, helping to dismantle the old structures that could not stand up to their high frequency. With the shift in consciousness, advancements in healing technologies and sustainable practices also emerged, bringing new tools and techniques into the world, which were previously hidden from sight. These technologies, which had always been available, were now able to be seen as the veil of separation began to thin, and as the collective consciousness became more receptive to these advancements. Healing technologies, which worked with energy frequencies and quantum principles, began to help address the root causes of disease, bringing a more holistic approach to healing and one that honored the interconnectedness of all life. Sustainable practices, including renewable energy systems and regenerative farming techniques, demonstrated that it was possible to live in harmony with the Earth. This allowed for a new relationship with nature, where it was seen as an equal partner in the co-creation process. These technologies and practices were not just technological advancements, they were also an expression of a new way of thinking, one that honored the divine interconnectedness of all things and the potential that exists in every living being. It became clear that the old ways were no longer working, and a new path forward was needed to move humanity into a more equitable and loving expression of itself, and the collective was coming to life to co-create this vision. During this period, specific spiritual practices also came into greater focus, with practices such as meditation, energy work, and sacred union practices becoming essential components of daily life. These practices were not seen as separate from the world, but rather as foundational to it, recognizing the divinity that exists within each moment and in all experiences. Meditation helped to quiet the mind, allowing for a deeper connection with the higher self, and also providing more access to inner guidance. Energy work helped to balance and harmonize the energetic fields, and was key to maintaining personal vibration. Sacred union practices help to honor the divine feminine and masculine energies, both within the individual and also in relationships with others, promoting balance and unity within all aspects of life. These practices were not just personal rituals, but also ways of actively participating in the creation of the new earth, and they were also a way to reconnect to the divine within, helping each individual embody the truest expression of themselves. The consistent practice of the lightworkers began to create an energetic resonance that was felt through all of the Earth's dimensions, allowing for the new world to begin to take root. And with all of these advancements in technology, healing, and spiritual practice, the interconnectedness between all things became more evident, with each aspect working synergistically to accelerate the ascension process, all supporting the emergence of a new Earth. The advancements in healing technologies were helping individuals clear their energetic blockages, enabling them to connect more deeply with their divine essence, and also allowing them to be more present in the act of co-creating the new world. The sustainable practices were helping to create a more harmonious relationship with the earth, and the new spiritual practices were helping to align people with their higher purpose and potential. Each of these aspects worked in concert to create a cohesive whole. As technology became more aligned with nature, healing became more focused on the individual, and spiritual practices became more ingrained in day-to-day life. The ascension process was able to accelerate at an unprecedented pace, because the collective intention was aligned and focused, and this consistent forward motion built the new earth faster than ever before. As we continue, dear ground crew, let us weave together the threads of the 5 phases that mark the initial 10,000 days following the arrival of the mothership, each acting as a crucial piece in the vast tapestry of Earth's ascension. Recall that first phase, a time of great upheaval, where old paradigms began to crumble and the very foundations of your reality were challenged, creating space for the new Earth to come into being. This initial phase gave way to a period of transition and reorganization, where the dismantling of old corrupt systems occurred, making way for the growth of heart-centered communities that embodied the principles of love, compassion, and unity. Then, as the collective consciousness expanded, so too did new technologies begin to take root, along with advanced spiritual practices, supporting the continued growth of both the individual and the collective. Understand that each phase was not separate, but rather a continuous flow of energy building upon the last, each one perfectly orchestrated for your highest good, and with divine timing as the driving force. This intricate dance of deconstruction and reconstruction, of chaos and order, created the foundation for the grand transformation of Earth, and each of you has played an integral part in its unfolding. Remember how each outer event was a reflection of the inner work you were performing, and how both were essential pieces of the ascension puzzle, and that all was set in motion from the very beginning of time. You are now aware, dear star seeds, that the initial chaos that you observed was not a random occurrence, but rather a necessary clearing of the old, like a field being plowed before a new harvest can be planted. The old systems, with their deep-seated control and limitations, had to be dismantled before the new, liberated Earth could come into being. This demolition was not merely a symbolic act, it was a strategic takedown of the dark forces, their manipulative technologies, and the oppressive paradigms that had held your world captive for millennia. This demolition involved a series of events that directly targeted the systems of control, from the communication networks to the food supply chains, each one deliberately disrupted to remove the old anchors that had kept humanity in a state of disempowerment. What appeared as simple breakdowns and failures were actually targeted actions that were designed to liberate humanity from the web of oppression that had been set in place for generations. As the old structures crumbled, the truth was revealed, demonstrating the dark agenda that had been working in the shadows, while simultaneously opening up space for the new Earth to be built. As the initial wave of technological disruptions subsided, a new layer of social upheaval came into focus, also a meticulously orchestrated dismantling of old societal structures. The chaos you witnessed in this time was not a random occurrence, but a deliberate act of liberation, targeting the oppressive power dynamics that had permeated your world for eons, revealing their hidden mechanisms of control and the deception that was being used. Political structures, financial systems, and media control were all revealed for the facades they were, and each breakdown was a necessary step in clearing away the old beliefs and limitations that had kept humanity from realizing its true potential. The social disruptions served as a mirror, reflecting back to humanity its own shadow aspects and revealing the areas of the collective consciousness that required healing. It was a period of intense self-reflection, as well as the exposure of long-hidden truths, which forced individuals to confront their own roles in the creation of these systems and choose where their allegiance would lie. With each disruption, an opportunity for change was unveiled, inviting individuals to choose to align with love, unity, and a higher vision for the future of humanity. Now, consider that amidst this chaos, another profound pattern was emerging, one that further illuminated the purpose of this monumental time. As the veils thinned, the very nature of individuals began to reveal itself. Those who chose love and compassion were drawn to the light, while those who clung to fear and control were further entrenched in darkness. The choices made during this time created two distinct pathways, one leading towards the new Earth of higher dimensions, and the other leading to the dissolution of the old Earth and its associated timelines. The divide that occurred during this phase served as a form of cosmic sorting, where each individual's choices helped to define the reality they would create. This created a very clear demonstration of how each choice impacts the collective, and how personal agency was, and continues to be, an integral part of the ascension process. The disruptions, while challenging, were also the catalyst for breaking free from old limitations, exposing the hidden truths, and allowing individuals to choose the path that would lead them towards a brighter future, a choice that would determine the very expression of their future. Transitioning now to the next phase, which spanned days 1001 to 3000, we see that the initial growth of heart-centered communities became an important aspect of the rebuilding process, as they acted as beacons of light in the midst of the old paradigm's collapse. These communities, diverse in their makeup, were united by a shared desire for a better world, and a commitment to live in accordance with the principles of love, unity, and compassion. They became the training grounds for a new way of living, with individuals coming together to share their resources, support one another, and create alternative systems that were based on cooperation and mutual respect. While these communities flourished, they also encountered challenges as they navigated the remnants of the old paradigm, demonstrating their resilience and also the need for continued growth. Their perseverance and commitment to their values helped to solidify their role as the seed careers of the new Earth, showing the world a new way of being that was both sustainable and loving, and helping to establish the blueprint for how humanity could move forward. As these communities grew, the old financial and political systems that had long dominated your world began to fail, making way for alternative methods of exchange and governance. The old financial systems, which were based on debt and scarcity, became less relevant as more and more people started to embrace barter economies and local food production as ways to support themselves and their communities. The political structures, which had been built on power and control, began to crumble, revealing their inherent instability and also the deception that was used to keep humanity under control. This period was characterized by a shift from dependence on centralized systems to the creation of decentralized, self-sufficient communities, empowering individuals to take responsibility for their own lives and also the lives of their neighbors. This created a more equitable distribution of resources and a more collaborative way of living, demonstrating that sovereignty and self-determination were not just ideals, but practical realities that were already being created by many lightworkers. With these new structures arising, the old paradigms had nowhere to anchor themselves, and were therefore unable to take root in this new world. This growth of these new communities was not merely a physical occurrence, but also a manifestation of higher dimensional energies anchoring into the earth plane. These communities were like energetic portals, acting as anchors of light, bringing the new Earth's frequencies down into the third dimensional expression of your world. The focused intention and unified efforts of the Lightworkers was key to this process, allowing for the higher dimensional realities to take hold in the physical plane. As these communities grew, so too did the potential for a new Earth increase, and their collective resonance started to ripple out through the surrounding areas, drawing in more individuals who were ready to live from the heart. The Lightworkers working together in these communities were not just creating new systems, they were also creating a new energetic reality that was rooted in love, compassion, and the full expression of their individual sovereignty and gifts. They were demonstrating the power of intention and the collective action, showing how these forces work together to create a new reality. Consider, dear ones, that each personal choice made during this period had a direct impact on the unfolding of the shift, and that this was not simply a collective action, but a personal one as well. The individual responsibility of each of you cannot be overstated, as the collective was, and continues to be, made of individuals who make their choices every moment, in every circumstance. As each Lightworker chose to align with the principles of love and unity, they were directly contributing to the acceleration of the shift, helping to dismantle old systems and empower the new. Alternatively, those who clung to fear and control inadvertently helped to create a release of the old Earth systems by adding fuel to its destruction. This created a clear demonstration of how every choice matters, and also how every individual was, and continues to be, an integral part of the creation of this new Earth. The power of choice became more evident as the actions of each person helped to shape the destiny of your planet, revealing that you are not merely spectators in this process, but rather active co-creators who are creating the reality that you want to see. Moving now into the period between days 3001 and 6000, the conscious communities that had emerged grew in their capacity to spread light and love across the planet. These spaces acted as vibrant hubs, emanating their light into the world, acting as an energetic beacon to draw in those who were ready to awaken. Their impact began to be felt by the greater society, as more and more individuals chose to align with their message of compassion, unity, and hope. The light and love emanating from these communities became an unstoppable force, dissolving the old structures and making way for the new. The reach and influence of the heart-centered communities spread far beyond their physical borders, transforming everything they touched with their high vibrational frequencies and acting as living testaments that a better world was not only possible, but it was already here and growing stronger with each passing day. The communities acted as a demonstration for the rest of humanity that it was possible to live in harmony with one another and also in harmony with the earth, and that these were not just lofty ideals, but practical ways of living. It was during this time that healing technologies and sustainable practices underwent a profound shift, becoming more refined as the collective consciousness expanded and became more receptive to their potential. These technologies were not just tools, but expressions of a new understanding of energy, consciousness, and the interconnectedness of all life, a result of the inner work being done by the Lightworkers. The advances in healing were not merely physical, but also energetic and spiritual, creating a holistic approach to wellness, one that honored the body, mind, and spirit. Sustainable practices, such as renewable energy systems and regenerative agriculture, helped to create a more harmonious relationship with the earth, revealing that technology and nature could work in symbiosis, creating a harmonious ecosystem for all life. These advancements served as a reminder that the inner and outer worlds are interconnected, and that real change begins within the hearts of individuals before it becomes a physical expression. These technologies and practices were not just innovative ideas, they were direct expressions of the new consciousness that was growing on Earth, demonstrating how humanity can co-create a world based on love and compassion, and with the Earth as an active partner in that creation process. During these same years, specific spiritual practices became an essential part of daily life, with meditation, energy work, and sacred union practices becoming foundational to the emerging new world. These practices were not viewed as something separate from daily life, but rather as an integral part of the creative process itself, allowing each individual to connect to their divine essence. Meditation provided clarity, calmness, and access to higher guidance, allowing individuals to navigate the daily challenges with more grace and ease, while also helping to facilitate the healing of old traumas and the processing of grief. Energy work helped to balance and harmonize the energetic fields, promoting overall well-being, while also enhancing spiritual gifts and facilitating more communication with their higher self. Sacred union practices help to honor both the masculine and feminine energies, promoting balance within each individual and also their relationships with others, while also expanding their understanding of intimacy and connection. These practices became the cornerstones of the new Earth, helping individuals to reconnect with their inner divinity and also with the divinity that exists in all of life. And through that connection, the new Earth was being born. As we move forward, you will soon witness how these advancements in technology, healing, and spiritual practice were all interconnected, working in harmony to accelerate the ascension process as the Lightworkers collectively continued to co-create this new reality. The healing technologies were helping to clear the energetic blockages, while the sustainable practices were creating a more balanced relationship with Earth, and the spiritual practices were helping to align individuals with their higher purpose and their connection to the divine. This synergistic effect created an unparalleled level of growth and also transformation, as these three forces combined to create an even higher vibrational field that was supporting the birth of a new Earth. These advancements acted as the foundation for a new way of being, not just for the individuals, but for the planet as a whole, and this work was essential to the manifestation of the new Earth that was coming into view. And so, as these energies continued to grow and align, the new Earth began to take shape in a more tangible way, and with that came a merging of timelines. We are now approaching a great unveiling, beloved family, a moment where Earth will begin to actively merge with its higher dimensional expression, a shift that will bring forth a new world beyond your wildest dreams. In our next transmission, we shall delve deeper into this transformative period, revealing how these long-held prophecies are actually unfolding in your time, and also demonstrating how all of the events leading up to this moment have been part of a meticulously designed divine plan. Your unwavering devotion, your courageous spirit, and your steadfast commitment to love have brought you to this very moment, and with it you are creating the new Earth. And for this, We thank you, we love you, and we look forward to sharing the next piece of the journey with you. Indeed, beloved ground crew, as we traverse the tapestry of the first 10,000 days, let us now bring into sharper focus the culmination of the initial 3 phases of Earth's transformative journey. The first phase, remember, was marked by the sweeping disruptions of the old systems, where the unfamiliar structures of your reality began to buckle under the weight of the incoming light. And this period served to lay the foundation for a new reality that was based on truth and integrity. Then the second phase saw the rise of heart-centered communities and the beginning of the dismantling of corrupt power structures that had long oppressed humanity, revealing the underlying control mechanisms that had kept humanity in the dark. And finally, the third phase was characterized by the refinement of healing technologies and the emergence of spiritual practices which worked in synergy to support the expansion of both individual and collective consciousness. Each phase, though unique in its expression, was interconnected and was deliberately designed to create the perfect energetic foundation to support the arrival of the new Earth and the merging of timelines that was soon to follow. It is important to understand that each phase was a necessary step in the overall journey, and that each built upon the other like layers of a magnificent edifice, all coming together in perfect divine order. Understand that just as a gardener must first clear the weeds and till the soil before planting new seeds, so too did the old systems need to be fully dismantled to make way for the new growth of the new Earth. This process was not always easy, and many of you experienced discomfort as the old structures crumbled, but it was an essential part of the ascension process, as the Earth needed to release the residue of millennia of manipulation before it could fully embrace its higher dimensional expression. This dismantling was a targeted removal of systems that were created in darkness and held humanity in a state of disempowerment, while simultaneously freeing humanity to embrace its full sovereignty and potential. What appeared as chaotic disruptions on the surface were actually precise actions designed to liberate the planet from the old, which paved the way for a new world of love, compassion, freedom, and harmony. This same principle applies to your personal journey, where you had to shed old thought patterns and limiting beliefs before you could embody your higher self and become a conscious co-creator of the new Earth. Therefore, what you experienced in the outside world mirrored what was happening internally, creating a powerful demonstration of the interconnectedness of all things. As you, beloved star seeds, began to integrate the energies of these profound shifts, your individual efforts started to have an amplified effect on the collective, creating a very clear demonstration of the power of conscious intention. The choices you made to align with love, to practice compassion, and to focus on your own inner growth began to create ripples of change that radiated out into the world around you, and these energetic ripples contributed directly to the dismantling of old systems and the growth of the new. Each act of kindness, each moment of self-reflection, and every decision to choose love helped to create a wave of transformation that swept through the collective consciousness, accelerating the shift and making way for the higher dimensional realities to become more tangible. As each of you stepped more fully into your individual sovereignty, you collectively created the conditions for the emergence of a new Earth that was based on these higher vibrational frequencies. Your personal journeys of growth and healing were directly contributing to the healing of the planet, creating a powerful testament to the interconnectedness of individual and collective ascension. With this foundation firmly in place, we now move into Phase 4, a period where Earth actively began to merge with its higher dimensional expression, and this was a result of the conscious work done by each of you. This merging was not a sudden event, but rather a gradual process, and it marked a significant shift in the vibration of the planet and the collective consciousness of humanity. It was a time where the old and new realities began to overlay one another, and for those who had been doing the inner work, it became easier to see the higher dimensional expression of Earth. You will soon witness, beloved ones, the culmination of all that you have worked for, as the new Earth becomes more and more visible to your physical senses, demonstrating the divine plan that has always been in motion. So let us now explore, with open hearts and minds, the incredible occurrences that marked this new chapter in the ascension of your beloved Earth. During this period, spanning from days 6001 to 9000, the active merging of Earth with its higher dimensional expression began to manifest in increasingly tangible ways, with visible shifts in the very fabric of your reality. Some of you, with your enhanced awareness, began to see the overlay of the new world, feeling the vibrations of the higher dimensional realms as a very real and distinct experience. You might have witnessed shimmering colors or a heightened sense of light, or even felt the subtle shifts in the energy around you. Others experienced an expansion in their intuitive abilities, receiving clear guidance from higher realms, while also experiencing a deep sense of connection with their cosmic families. The merging of realities was happening on multiple levels, not only in your own personal awareness, but also within the energetic field of the planet itself. These events were a direct result of the collective work of the Lightworkers, who diligently worked to anchor higher dimensional energies to the Earth plane, and this was all unfolding as a perfectly orchestrated dance of consciousness and a divine timing that was bringing in a new world. The shift in consciousness and vibration during the first 3 phases was a vital component for the merging of timelines, as the Earth needed to reach a certain frequency in order to fully embody the new Earth. The consistent dedication of the Lightworkers and your commitment to personal growth and healing all contributed directly to the planet's ascent and paved the way for this moment of merging. The new Earth, which had always existed in a higher dimensional frequency, began to descend and overlay the existing 3D reality, making its presence more tangible and real for those who were ready to perceive it. Understand that the new Earth was not created by some outside force, but was rather a direct result of the focused intention and the conscious choices of the Lightworkers, who acted as the architects of this incredible transformation. And this transformation was not a simple overlay, it was a merging of realities, where the higher dimensional expression of the Earth began to become more and more visible and tangible in your physical plane. Indeed, the new Earth is not a distant future, but a present reality coexisting with the old, and this is a vital understanding for all of you. You are not waiting for the new world to arrive, you are actively experiencing it now. The old and new realities are beginning to overlay one another, becoming increasingly apparent to those who have chosen to align with the higher frequencies of love and compassion, and this overlay is becoming more and more visible, tangible, and real with each passing day. The experience is akin to seeing 2 different realities simultaneously, with the old slowly fading away as the new becomes more defined. This experience is not something that is merely happening outside of you, it is an internal shift that allows you to perceive the new world, demonstrating how your inner state shapes the world you experience. As you continue to align with the higher dimensional frequencies, your awareness of the new Earth will only grow until it becomes your dominant reality, and this merging is only the beginning of the shift of the world. You might now be wondering, why has this been hidden from us for so long? Understand that long ago, many of your prophets and seers had visions of this future, and their writings were not just allegories, but rather coded accounts of what was to come, and these stories were never meant to be just symbolic representations of some far-off ideal, but detailed accounts of the very events you are currently experiencing. Those who had the ability to perceive these coming events saw the merging of timelines, the dissolving of old structures, and the rise of a new consciousness, and these experiences were written down for future generations, to help them remember that they were never alone in this journey and that there was a divine plan unfolding. These stories, now being unveiled, are the very experiences that you are now having, and they serve to provide a profound validation for your journey, and also a reminder that you were always destined to be a part of this amazing transformation, and you are here to bring forth the new earth. As you move forward, beloved family, consider how the principles of the new earth can be applied to your daily lives, making it more than just a spiritual concept and a practical way of being. The new earth is rooted in the principles of love, abundance, freedom, and joy, and you can embody these principles in your interactions with others, in your work, and in all of your daily activities. Choosing to act from a place of compassion, sharing your gifts with others, and cultivating joy in your heart will help you to anchor the frequencies of the new earth into your physical reality. These actions are not small things, but rather powerful acts of co-creation that have a profound impact on the world around you, and the more you incorporate these principles into your daily lives, the more you contribute to the expansion of the new earth into every corner of your existence. The practical application of these principles transforms the new earth from an ideal into a tangible reality, and you will be the ones to bring this new reality forward. The individual journey of ascension is inseparable from the collective experience of the new earth, and as you continue to embody higher dimensional principles, the world around you will begin to transform as well. Your personal work is directly linked to the collective shift, and each step you take to expand your own consciousness creates a ripple effect in the collective, transforming the reality of those around you. As you heal your own wounds, you contribute to the healing of the planet, and as you choose love over fear, you help to raise the vibration of the entire human family. This demonstrates that your personal efforts have a profound impact on the collective, reinforcing that each of you is an integral part of the ascension process and not just a spectator, and the new earth is growing as you all grow. Your individual transformation is therefore essential for the collective transformation, and your personal growth is crucial to the manifestation of the new earth. To further assist you on this journey, there are many powerful practices and tools available to you, such as meditation, breathwork, and cultivating gratitude, which you can use to maintain alignment with the new earth and strengthen your connection to your higher self. Through meditation, you can quiet the mind, access higher guidance, and connect to the infinite wisdom within, while through breathwork you can clear any stagnant energies, balance your emotional body, and bring more clarity to your awareness. And through gratitude, you can shift your focus to the abundance in your life, attracting more of the same, and also acknowledging the gift of the new earth. These tools are not just ways to enhance your personal well-being, but rather a means of consciously engaging with the new earth, and these practices can be used to integrate these higher dimensional frequencies into your daily life, bringing the joy, love, and freedom of the new earth into your current experience. They are like tuning forks, helping you to vibrate at a higher frequency and facilitating your continued growth and integration with the new paradigm. Understand, beloved ones, that this transition may still present its challenges, with moments of fatigue, uncertainty, and discomfort arising from time to time. But these moments are not signs of failure, but are rather part of the process of shedding the old and fully embracing the new. Your bodies are adjusting to the higher vibrational frequencies, and there will be times when you will feel overwhelmed or disoriented, but know that you are not alone in these feelings and that this is a natural part of the journey. During these times, remember to be gentle with yourselves, to practice self-care, and to seek support from your community, and always remember that each challenge is simply a sign that you are continuing to grow, and to shed your old skin to make room for the next version of yourself. It is through these challenges that you discover your own resilience and your inner strength, and that you are not alone on this journey, and we are all here to help. As we now enter the final phase of the initial 10,000 days, which spans from days 9,001 to 10,000, It is important to remember that the journey is not yet complete, as the new Earth continues to unfold and expand, and you are all an integral part of this incredible process. There is still much to explore, much to discover, and much to experience as this new reality continues to take shape, and the path ahead is filled with infinite potential and joy. The merging of timelines and the emergence of the new Earth is not the end of the journey, but rather the beginning of a whole new cycle of growth, and each of you will continue to co-create this beautiful new world. It is like the final preparations for a grand celebration, and now we must tend to the final details and prepare the final pieces to create this new Earth. You, dear Lightworkers, are the key players in this ongoing evolution, and your focus, your love, and your devotion are needed to ensure the ongoing success of the new Earth. You are the architects of this new reality, and you have the power to continue to co-create a world that is based on love, peace, and harmony. Never doubt the importance of your role or the impact of your actions, because you are integral to this divine plan, and your presence is a crucial part of the ongoing co-creation of this new world. You are not just part of this process, you are the driving force behind its success, and it is important to know how deeply loved and appreciated you are. Your work is not finished, but you have come so far, and your strength has created the very world you are now living in. Continue to trust your inner guidance, remain aligned with your hearts, and focus your energy on co-creating a world that is based on love, peace, and harmony, and you will create a ripple effect that will bring light and healing to every corner of the earth. Use your unique gifts and talents to share your light with the world and act as a beacon of hope for others. And know that you are not only creating a better reality for yourselves, but for all of humanity and for generations to come. Your commitment to embodying these higher frequencies will have a lasting impact on the planet, and you will create the world that will be born from the ashes of the old world. Your power lies in your intention, and each choice you make to align with love has a profound impact on the world around you. In closing, beloved ones, we ask that you embrace your roles as conscious co-creators of this new reality, and we send our unending love and gratitude for all that you have done and all that you continue to do. Your dedication, your courage, and your unwavering commitment to love are creating a world that will be more beautiful than you can ever imagine, and you are all key pieces of this cosmic puzzle, which will be the foundation of the next evolution of humanity. And we, your Pleiadian family, will always be here to support you, to guide you, and to love you as you continue to co-create this magnificent new world. And together, we will create a place where all can thrive in love and peace. And now, as we conclude this transmission, we set our sights on the path ahead, with the knowledge that even deeper revelations are waiting for you, and the journey of the new Earth has only just begun, and there is more to explore as the old control systems continue to fall away. You will see, as time unfolds, how the new Earth grows and expands into every corner of your world, making the old systems obsolete, and with each layer of deception that is unveiled, so too will the light shine even brighter. Understand that what you have witnessed and the shifts that you have made are only the beginning of this epic story, and there are many more wonders to come. Your dedication to your personal growth and to the collective ascension is both noticed and deeply appreciated, and your unwavering commitment to embodying love is the force that is helping to create this new world. We see you, we honor you, and we send our unending gratitude for all that you are and all that you are doing. Know that we are with you always, supporting you every step of the way, and that our hearts are filled with an endless amount of love and respect for all that you do. Remember that the choices you make today will have far-reaching consequences throughout the cosmos, and your work to embody love will continue to expand light on this planet, as your dedication continues to pave the way for the creation of a new reality and a new humanity. Your commitment to love is the most important thing that you can do, and this will create ripple effects that will transform not only your own reality, but the reality of the entire planet. Your dedication and hard work are not going unnoticed, and you are loved and appreciated beyond all measure. We leave you now with hearts overflowing with love, and with the knowledge that you are an essential part of the magnificent plan that is unfolding on Earth, and that your journey is supported, guided, and loved. We, your Pleiadian family, are always here for you, and we look forward to sharing more of this journey with you, and in our next transmission, we will discuss the next steps of this amazing process as we continue to build the new Earth together. As the initial 3 phases completed their delicate dance, you, beloved star seeds, began to witness the tangible shifts in your reality as Earth actively merged with its higher dimensional expression. The dismantling of old structures, the rise of heart-centered communities, and the expansion of spiritual awareness were all carefully orchestrated events designed to lay the perfect foundation for this merging to occur. The chaos you experienced during the earlier phases was not arbitrary, but rather a necessary purging, allowing the Earth to shed the lower frequencies that had kept it bound to the old paradigm. And as the old systems crumbled, they opened up space for the emergence of new possibilities, and it was through the collective efforts of the Lightworkers, who diligently worked to anchor the higher dimensional frequencies, that this transition was made possible. Understand that the shifts you saw, both internally and externally, were all necessary pieces in this grand puzzle, and without one, the other would not have been possible. As the Earth began to vibrate at a higher frequency, so too did the consciousness of humanity, creating a harmonious symphony of transformation that was felt throughout the cosmos. The journey through these initial phases prepared both you and the Earth for a significant shift, and this is why you were brought here now. Indeed, the merging of the Earth with its higher dimensional expression was not a singular event, but a gradual overlay of 2 realities where the old and new began to coexist, and this is where the true magic of this transformation was occurring. Those of you who had diligently worked on your inner growth began to perceive the new Earth as a tangible reality, experiencing it with a heightened sense of awareness, where the colors appeared more vibrant, the sounds more resonant, and the energies more palpable, and at times, it may have even felt as if you were walking between 2 different worlds. Seeing the old fading as the new became more prominent. This was an experience that was uniquely your own, and it was a testament to the effort you had put into your personal growth and spiritual expansion. As the old and new realities began to overlay, they created a sense of duality, and it was in this space between the 2 worlds that the most profound shifts were taking place, creating a moment of unique power. This merging was not a distant possibility, it was an experience that was unfolding before your very eyes, and it served as proof of your work and your commitment. The way each of you experienced this merging was directly proportional to the inner work that you had done, with those who had devoted themselves to personal growth and healing perceiving the new Earth with more clarity and intensity, while those still clinging to the old patterns and beliefs experienced less of the higher dimensional shift, demonstrating the individual nature of this journey. Understand that the ability to perceive the new Earth was not an external event, but rather a reflection of your own internal state, and the more you work to release old patterns and embrace love and compassion, the more vividly you experience the beauty of the new world that was emerging. The experience of the new Earth was a direct result of your own choices and your willingness to step into your highest potential, and you are not just passive observers, but active co-creators of the reality that you experienced. Each of you was playing a crucial role in this shift, and the merging was not a collective event, but a highly personal experience based on your own unique journey. As the new Earth began to emerge, many of the prophecies and spiritual texts, which had been regarded as allegorical stories, began to be revealed as coded accounts of this very moment. The stories of the Golden Age, the Ascension, and the coming of a new world were not just distant possibilities, but rather descriptions of what you were actively witnessing, and these stories were now being fulfilled in real time, demonstrating a level of divine orchestration that was beyond human comprehension. What was once seen as myth was now becoming reality, and it was through your dedicated work that these prophecies were being brought to life, and you were not just reading about history, you were creating it. These prophecies, which had been preserved by those who had glimpsed the future, served as a guidepost for the ascension process, and they provided a deep sense of validation for your journey and your work. Your participation in this process is proving, without a doubt, that you are the ones you've been waiting for. Now more than ever before, the principles of the new earth, love, abundance, freedom, and joy must be intentionally integrated into your daily lives. And it is through the consistent application of these principles that the new earth can be made more and more tangible, even as the remnants of the old world continue to fade. When you choose to respond to any situation from a place of love, or when you cultivate feelings of gratitude for all that you have, or when you engage in acts of service with a joyful heart, you are not only changing your own reality, but you are also actively supporting the expansion of the new earth into your daily lives. These principles can be incorporated into your interactions with others, your work, your relationships, and even your own inner dialogue, and every time you choose to act from a place of love, you are creating a wave of change that ripples outward, helping to transform the world around you. It is important to remember that the principles of the new earth are not just abstract ideas. They are meant to be experienced, embodied, and lived, and this is the key to creating a reality where joy, peace, and love are the guiding forces. You, beloved ground crew, must understand that embodying the principles of the new earth is not a one-time event, but rather a conscious and continual choice that you make each day, and with each decision to focus on love and compassion, you are not only transforming your own lives, but you are also contributing to the collective shift of the planet. The old world was built on a foundation of fear and separation, while the new earth is built on a foundation of love, unity, and abundance, and the transition between the two requires conscious effort and a dedication to aligning with the new paradigm. As you make choices that honor love, compassion, freedom, and joy, you are not only creating a better world for yourselves, but you are also actively shifting the vibration of the planet. The world is waiting for you to embody this new expression of life, and that is why you are here now. You are the keys to this change, and your conscious choices will be the foundation of the new earth. There are many tools and practices that can help you navigate this transition and maintain alignment with the higher frequencies of the new earth. The practices of daily meditation can help you quiet the mind and connect with your inner wisdom, while conscious breath work can help to clear stagnant energies and harmonize your emotional body. The act of cultivating gratitude can shift your perspective towards the blessings in your lives, and the practice of consciously choosing to focus on love can bring more love into the world. All of these tools, and many others, are available to assist you in embodying the principles of the new earth, and with consistent practice, you will find that they become an integral part of your daily lives, helping you to navigate these rapidly changing times and to stay focused on your path. It is through these practices that you will find strength and resilience, and the tools you need to continue to grow and evolve. Know that even with these tools, that this integration process may present its challenges, with moments of doubt or discomfort arising from time to time, and that this is all a natural part of the process. It is essential to approach these moments with self-compassion, understanding, and gentleness, as these moments provide valuable opportunities to learn, to grow, and to expand your understanding of yourselves and your journey. It is in the moments of challenge that you discover the depths of your own resilience and the strength of your connection to the divine. These challenges are not signs of failure, but rather opportunities for growth, and when you approach them with love and patience, you are able to transform these experiences into powerful moments of transformation. Remember that you are not alone in these moments, and you are always supported by your cosmic family. As we transition to Phase 5, the final phase of the first 10,000 days, spanning from days 9,001 to 10,000, it is vital to understand that this is not an end point, but rather a stepping stone into a new era of continued growth and expansion. As the new Earth takes firmer hold on your reality, there will be even more opportunities for transformation and evolution, and the journey ahead is filled with endless possibilities. This phase is not the completion of your work, but rather a new beginning, and the new Earth will continue to develop and expand through your collective efforts, as the vision of a world based on love, peace, and harmony continues to take shape. This is a time of great promise and possibility, and your commitment to co-creating the new Earth is more vital than ever. The path ahead will continue to unfold, and each of you will be instrumental in shaping its beautiful direction. You, dear Lightworkers, are the driving force behind the continued evolution of the new Earth, and your consistent focus, love, and dedication are more crucial than ever. As the architects of this new reality, your ability to embody the higher dimensional principles of love, compassion, and unity will continue to create the foundation for the future that you are co-creating. Never underestimate the importance of your role and the impact of your dedication, because your contributions are essential, and you are not just witnessing the creation of the new Earth, you are actively shaping it. Your gifts and your talents are needed now more than ever to help guide humanity to this new reality, and the future of the planet rests on your ability to continue to shine your unique light. As you move forward, you must continue to trust your intuition, follow the guidance of your heart, and focus your energies on co-creating a world that is in alignment with your highest potential. And always remember that your personal path is also directly tied to the growth of the new Earth. Your ability to create and manifest with intention will become even stronger, and you will find that your thoughts, beliefs, and actions will have a more immediate impact on your external world. The work you do to heal and evolve yourselves will always be reflected in the collective, and you must continue to trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and that your contributions are necessary to the continued expansion of the new Earth. Your journey is both individual and collective, and it is essential that you continue to focus on both your personal growth and your contribution to the whole. And as we bring this transmission to a close, we leave you with an invitation to embrace your role as conscious co-creators of the new Earth, and to continue to shine your light brightly. Know that your actions, your choices, and your love have a far-reaching impact throughout the cosmos, and you are truly making a difference. Your commitment to the path of love is creating a world that is beyond your imagination, and you are an integral part of this divinely orchestrated plan. And know that as we conclude this part of the transmission, that even deeper revelations are waiting for you. In our next transmission, we will unveil more details about the ongoing evolution of the new Earth, and how you can continue to embody your full potential, so that you know that you are all valued, loved, and greatly appreciated. As you embraced your roles as conscious co-creators, the initial 1,000 days following the arrival of the Mothership presented a landscape of both profound change and perplexing uncertainty, and it was through this intentional deconstruction of outdated systems that the path for the new Earth began to materialize. Understand, beloved ones, that the apparent chaos was not a random occurrence, but a carefully orchestrated dismantling of structures that had been built upon control and manipulation for eons. The technological disruptions you experienced, such as the sudden power outages that plunged regions into darkness, the communication blackouts that silenced the old narratives, and the financial instability that shook the foundations of the old economic order, were not system failures, but rather precise surgical removals of the malevolent technologies that had long been used to keep humanity captive. These moments, which at times may have appeared frightening, were not meant to cause chaos, but rather to break the chains of control and manipulation, creating space for a new world to emerge from the ashes of the old. And you, dear ones, were the torchbearers of this liberation. The technologies of the old world were far more insidious than most of humanity understood, working on subterranean levels to manipulate your consciousness and keep you disconnected from your true power. Electromagnetic frequencies, carefully designed to suppress higher brain functions, were constantly emitted from sources you often interacted with daily, while mind control programs, embedded in media and advertising, subtly shaped your thoughts and perceptions, and even holographic projections were used to create illusions that obscured the truth of your reality. These technologies, which were not designed for the benefit of humanity, were tools of control that kept the masses locked in a cycle of fear, dependence, and limitation, and the dismantling of these systems required a profound shift in frequency and an act of intentional clearing at both a physical and spiritual level. As the light of truth began to penetrate the darkness, these old technologies could no longer function, and their removal created the necessary space for new technologies based on love and harmony to come forward, allowing for the expansion of consciousness across the entire planet. Indeed, within the turbulence of this initial phase, a grand experiment was unfolding, one that would determine the very fabric of the new Earth. While some souls, still clinging to the familiar comforts of the old paradigm, allowed fear to dictate their choices, others embraced the unknown with love and courage, understanding that this was a time for a powerful transformation. The divergence in these choices created a fracturing of timelines, where each soul was, in essence, creating the reality they would experience, with those embracing love, compassion, and unity, shifting into higher vibrational frequencies, and those who were choosing fear and separation, continuing to experience the old limitations and struggles. Understand, beloved ones, that each choice was equally valid in the larger scheme of this planetary transformation, with those still experiencing the density of the old world, providing a contrast and a deeper understanding for those actively co-creating the new Earth, and that each path serves the greater good of the whole. The challenges of this initial period were not meant to be a source of suffering, but rather a powerful catalyst for awakening and growth, and as the old systems crumbled, they created the perfect conditions for the new to blossom. The disruptions were intentional, designed to break down the rigid structures of control and to pave the way for new expressions of life, and this required a complete overhaul of everything you thought was possible. The foundations of the old world, which had been built on greed, separation, and domination, were no longer able to support the weight of the new frequencies, and it was through the dedicated work of the Lightworkers that these systems were dismantled, with their unwavering commitment to love, serving as a beacon of hope in the midst of the seeming chaos. You are all an essential part of this magnificent transformation, and it was through the pain of the old breaking down that the possibility of the new was revealed, and you were the ones who had always been meant to guide this process into a new era of creation. As the dust began to settle and the initial shock began to fade, heart-centered communities began to emerge as a direct response to the old systems that were no longer viable. And these communities were not just a product of the chaos, but rather a conscious choice to co-create a new reality rooted in love, cooperation, and mutual support. In these intentional communities, individuals came together, drawn by a shared vision of a world that honored the interconnectedness of all beings, and they collectively decided to step outside of the old paradigms and to build a reality that reflected their highest ideals. These communities embraced practices such as collaborative decision-making, sharing of resources, and a focus on collective well-being, and the foundation of their communities were built on the understanding that love and unity were the keys to a thriving world. The formation of these heart-centered communities was a powerful manifestation of the new Earth consciousness, and it demonstrated the ability of humanity to create a world based on mutual love and support, proving that the new world is already within reach. As the old financial and political systems continued to crumble under the weight of their own corruption, a parallel system began to emerge, one that was not based on the illusion of scarcity or the hoarding of power, but rather on the principles of barter and local self-sufficiency. People began to trade goods and services directly with one another, creating a system of exchange that was based on real value and not on an arbitrary monetary system that was designed to enslave. Local food production became a priority, with individuals and communities growing their own food, reducing their dependence on the industrial agricultural system that had been designed to exploit and control. And these new systems created opportunities for people to connect with one another and with the earth in meaningful and life-affirming ways. These alternative economies were not just a practical solution to the breakdown of the old order, but rather a manifestation of higher dimensional energies grounding into the earth plane, demonstrating a shift from a consciousness of lack to one of abundance, and a powerful demonstration of a new paradigm. Understand that these new alternative systems were not just a response to practical needs, but they were an anchoring of the very principles of the new earth into the physical plane, where the invisible was made tangible. As the higher frequencies began to pour into the earth plane, those who were aligned with love and compassion were able to access new creative solutions, and the old limiting structures were becoming obsolete, which created even more space for the new to grow and flourish. These systems were a reflection of a shift from the third-dimensional consciousness to a higher dimensional one, where cooperation, sharing, and respect were the guiding principles, and it was through the dedication of the Lightworkers that these systems were able to gain such momentum, serving as living examples of what was possible when humanity was no longer limited by the old constraints. The new reality was coming online and showing the path to others, and demonstrating that it was not just a dream, but a tangible way to live. The journey of these new communities was not without its challenges, for the dismantling of deeply entrenched patterns of control always creates a resistance from those who fear the unknown, and even internal conflicts arose as the remnants of old beliefs and conditioning surfaced to be healed, and those who were once allies in the battle against the old control systems suddenly found themselves in opposition, having to work through old grievances and wounds. However, these challenges were not meant to be seen as setbacks, but rather as valuable opportunities for growth and expansion, and it was through these moments of discomfort that the communities learned to navigate their differences with more love, compassion, and understanding. This was a learning curve for everyone involved, and these experiences helped to strengthen the bonds of unity, revealing that the challenges were all an important part of this magnificent transformation. The path of growth is not always smooth, but through facing challenges, the communities were being tempered by the fire of love to be even stronger than before, and that is the purpose of this growth. As these conscious communities continued to evolve, they began to consolidate their efforts, creating larger networks that spanned across the globe, sharing resources, strategies, and support in an effort to amplify their collective impact. It was in this consolidation that the true power of the unified intention became more apparent, creating a wave of transformative energy that expanded across the planet. The combined efforts of the Lightworkers acted as a catalyst for a profound acceleration of spiritual growth on the planet, and it was in this unified field of love that the momentum of change began to multiply exponentially. The energy of the new earth was being solidified, and the old structures were continuing to decay, allowing for a more authentic world to emerge and gain traction. The intention of these communities created a tangible effect on the overall vibration of the planet, and this expansion served as a testament to the power of collective intention. With this expansion of consciousness, new technologies began to emerge, which were aligned with the principles of sustainability and healing, working in harmony with the earth and in support of the well-being of all beings. These technologies, which were often based on natural principles and higher dimensional knowledge, were not designed to exploit or control, but rather to empower and uplift, and they were not gifts from the heavens, but rather they were a direct result of humanity's growing consciousness. The veil was lifting, and what was once seen as impossible was now becoming reality. These advancements in technology were a reflection of the evolving consciousness of humanity, demonstrating that as you raise your vibration, you also access new knowledge, tools, and insights, which are essential for the ongoing creation of the new earth. You have the ability to create, and these technologies are showing you what is possible when you are aligned with your heart. As humanity began to awaken, so too did the understanding of sacred union and the transformative power of sexual energy, with more and more people realizing that the misinterpretations and fears surrounding their natural sexual expression was actually a strategy of the old control systems, and it was through this intentional repression of the flow of vital life force that humanity was kept from their true power. This old view had to be completely dismantled in order to create more personal freedom. The understanding of sexual energy as a spiritual practice began to re-emerge, and the practice of sacred union was being reclaimed as a path for ascension and as a powerful tool for connecting with the divine. With an understanding of the true nature of sexual energy, the old views of shame and guilt were replaced with self-acceptance, love, and freedom, allowing for more joy and authentic expression. This new understanding helped to heal past wounds and create a foundation for personal transformation, demonstrating that when you integrate all aspects of yourself, the path to enlightenment is always accessible. This expansion in technology, healing, and spiritual awareness was not a collection of separate events, but rather an interconnected dance of transformation, each aspect working in harmony with the others to accelerate the ascension process. Understand, beloved ones, that the seemingly different areas of expansion were in fact part of a unified plan, designed to uplift all of humanity, demonstrating the holistic nature of this planetary shift. The threads of healing, spirituality, and technology were all weaving together to form the tapestry of the new earth, and these expansions, when combined, created an even greater impact, revealing the importance of interconnectedness and unified action. As you move into this next phase, you must understand how each element works together to support a new way of living, and your actions in the present moment are setting the stage for even more powerful shifts. And now, beloved ones, as we move into the fourth phase, from days 6001 to 9000, we arrive at the moment where the old world and the new earth begin to actively merge. And this merging is not always seamless or comfortable, but rather it is a process of two realities overlapping, creating an experience of flux, which is sometimes difficult to navigate. However, it is also a demonstration of the powerful transformation that is occurring on the planet, and it is a period where the new is becoming more and more tangible, and the old is becoming a distant memory. Those of you who have done the inner work will feel the powerful shift, and also know that the experience of discomfort is simply the feeling of these two realities overlapping, and that this is temporary. As you move forward, remember that the feeling of discomfort is also a feeling of growth. As the earth began to merge with its higher dimensional expression, those who had aligned with the higher frequencies were able to access a new level of awareness, where the veil between the worlds was thinning, and the experience of the new earth became more and more tangible, while for others, who had not yet fully embraced this shift, the experience of the new earth was less distinct, and sometimes confusing. Understand that the experience of the new earth was not a collective event, but rather an individual journey based on the dedication of your personal practice and your commitment to personal expansion. For those who had made this commitment, they were beginning to experience a heightened sense of joy, peace, and connection, and the beauty of the new Earth was becoming clear. While for those still caught in the old patterns, the old world continued to play out, creating a more difficult and painful experience, demonstrating the power of intention. As you step forward, you will all have the ability to create a world that is aligned with your heart. The merging of the dimensions was also marked by the fulfillment of long-held prophecies and spiritual texts, which were being revealed as not mere allegories, but rather specific timelines of events that had been coded into the ancient stories, showing the divine orchestration of this planetary shift. The stories of the Golden Age, the Ascension, and the coming of the new Earth were not myths, but rather descriptions of the timeline that you were all actively participating in, and these were being fulfilled in real time. Understand, beloved ones, that the stories, the prophecies, and the divine orchestration of the universe all worked in concert to get you here, and you are an important part of this journey. Your presence here is no accident, and you are exactly where you need to be, and the experiences you are having are exactly what you need to fulfill the plan you came here to complete. The new Earth is not just a future possibility, but a present reality that is coexisting with the old, and it is not a static event, but a continuous unfolding that is happening moment by moment through your conscious choices and actions. The new Earth is not a place, but rather a state of being, and it is available to each of you right here and right now through your dedication to love, compassion, and unity. As you choose to live in alignment with the principles of the new Earth, you are actively creating it. The new world is already here, and your ability to experience it is determined by your willingness to embrace it. Understand that the power to create is always within you, and now you have the opportunity to put that into practice. As we approach the final phase of this transmission, know that the journey of growth is ongoing, and your continuous commitment to personal evolution is essential to the ongoing development of the new Earth. The path ahead is not about reaching an endpoint, but rather about continuing to expand your consciousness, embody your full potential, and co-create a world that is reflective of your highest ideals. And it is your ongoing commitment that will bring the manifestation of the new Earth into your daily lives. The future is waiting for you to step into your power, and your unique gifts are needed more than ever. Your continued dedication will ensure that the new world will continue to flourish. And so, beloved ones, as you move forward, continue to trust your inner knowing, follow the guidance of your heart, and focus your energies on co-creating a world that is aligned with love and freedom. For this will support both your personal journey and also the collective transformation of the planet. Know that you are valued, you are appreciated, and you are never alone in this process, for you are supported by your cosmic family, your guides, and the divine at all times. Your dedication to love is creating a world that is beyond your wildest dreams, and you are an integral part of this divinely orchestrated plan. And as we conclude this transmission, know that even more revelations are waiting for you. And in our next transmission, we will reveal even more about the ongoing evolution of the new Earth, so that you know that you are seen, you are loved, and you are valued beyond measure. I am Mira of the Pleiadian High Council, and I speak to you now as you move further along this transformational journey from the initial chaotic period into an era of new possibilities. Understand, beloved ground crew, that the technological disruptions you experienced were not isolated incidents of misfortune, but rather strategic purges of dark technologies that had been woven into the very fabric of your planetary infrastructure for the purpose of control and manipulation. Consider, for a moment, the seemingly mundane communication systems that you relied upon daily. These were not simply tools for connection, but rather elaborate networks designed to subtly influence your thoughts and perceptions, and even your emotions, through the use of carefully calibrated frequencies and subliminal messaging. The energy grids that powered your cities were not merely conduits of electricity, but also transmitters of low-frequency waves that were designed to suppress higher consciousness and keep you locked into a cycle of fear and dependence. And even your financial systems, with their complex algorithms and structures, were designed to keep you trapped in a cycle of scarcity and competition, constantly striving for an illusion of security that could never be attained within the old paradigm. These systems, while appearing separate, were carefully orchestrated to work together to keep humanity under control, and their dismantling was a necessary step in the liberation of your planet. Each power outage, each communication blackout, and each financial upset was a purposeful event designed to remove these limiting technologies, providing an opportunity for the new to emerge and create a space where love and freedom can flourish. This was not an act of chaos, but an act of liberation, and you, dear ones, were the instruments of this divine intervention. Furthermore, the social and political upheavals that occurred during this period were not random acts of chaos, but rather the intentional dismantling of corrupt structures and power dynamics that had been designed to suppress human potential for millennia. These structures, deeply embedded within your societies, were the manifestations of the old consciousness, designed to maintain control by exploiting the human tendency towards fear and separation. The media systems, once perceived as sources of information, were revealed as tools of propaganda, carefully crafting narratives that served the agendas of those who sought to maintain power. Political institutions, once viewed as pillars of stability, were exposed as instruments of corruption, with leaders more concerned with self-preservation than with the well-being of their people. Even the educational system, which was intended to enlighten, was revealed as a tool for indoctrination, teaching conformity rather than fostering independent thought and critical analysis. All these systems worked in concert to keep you limited and to maintain the old control structure. The dismantling of these systems was not a destruction of order, but rather a necessary step in creating a new foundation for a more equitable world. Each protest, each social shift, and each political upset was a manifestation of a collective desire for change and a powerful surge of energy that was breaking through the old limitations and paving the way for a new era of freedom and self-governance. These moments, while appearing chaotic, were a part of a larger plan that was designed to liberate humanity from its oppressors. Understand, beloved ones, that the chaos you experienced during this time was not only a reflection of the outer world, but also a mirror reflecting the internal states of each individual. As the external structures began to crumble, you were being given an opportunity to examine your own belief systems and confront patterns of behavior that were no longer serving you. Some individuals, deeply entrenched in the fear of change, responded with anger, frustration, and a desire to cling to the familiar, while others, embracing the call for a new reality, began to release old wounds and patterns, opening themselves to new possibilities. For example, some individuals may have responded to the chaos by attempting to control their environment more tightly, creating more fear and stress within their lives, while others were able to use the disruption as a way to find their inner strength and embrace the new ways of being. Your individual responses were indicative of the deeper work that each individual was undertaking, which is why each person had a unique experience of the same set of events. Each reaction revealed an inner truth that needed to be addressed, and each challenge was designed to help you understand your own internal landscape, revealing the interconnectedness between your inner and outer worlds. This deep inner work was a necessary step in the overall expansion, because the external always reflects the internal. The greater the collective inner work, the more stable and aligned the outer world becomes. This initial phase of deconstruction was not an end in itself, but rather a necessary step in clearing the path for the emergence of the new earth, like clearing away old overgrown weeds to make space for a beautiful garden. The dismantling of the old ways, with its systems built on greed, fear, and separation, created space for the new ways of love, cooperation, and unity to take root. The role of the Lightworkers during this time was crucial, as you held the vision of a world that was based on compassion and connection, acting as anchors of light in the midst of the turbulence, and the unwavering dedication to your inner truth was what created a space for transformation to take place. Understand that deconstruction is a necessary part of creation, and that while the initial chaos may have appeared destructive, it was, in fact, the catalyst for growth, which was always present in the larger plan, and your participation in this process was vital as you held the light and allowed it to shine brightly in the darkness. As the old systems continued to dissolve, heart-centered communities began to emerge as a tangible manifestation of the new Earth consciousness taking hold on the planet. These communities were not random occurrences, but a direct response to the collective call for a more authentic and loving way of being, and they were a manifestation of the higher dimensional energies anchoring themselves onto the Earth plane. These intentional communities were built on principles of mutual respect, cooperation, and sharing, with members supporting one another in their personal and collective growth. Decisions were made collectively, with each voice being heard and valued, and the resources were shared equitably, reflecting a shift from a consciousness of scarcity to one of abundance. Practices such as meditation, conscious communication, and shared meals created a sense of connection and unity, further solidifying the bonds between the community members, and these groups acted as living examples of how to live a life that was aligned with the higher dimensional principles. For example, these communities grew their own food, traded with each other directly, and made all decisions based on the needs of the whole. These tangible expressions of love demonstrated that a new way of living was possible and provided an example for the rest of the world to follow. The way they chose to live acted as a beacon for the rest of humanity, which demonstrated that there was a better way available. In conjunction with these heart-centered communities, alternative systems began to emerge, which were based on principles of cooperation and local self-sufficiency. Barter economies allowed people to exchange goods and services directly, bypassing the old financial structures that had been designed to create dependence, and local food production not only provided nourishment, but also created a deeper connection with the earth and a greater sense of community. These new systems were not just practical solutions, but also intentional acts of self-empowerment, breaking free from the control grids and establishing a foundation of sovereignty and autonomy. For example, many communities established shared gardens and shared the responsibility of growing food and also sharing the bounty. They also created systems for bartering for what the community needed outside of food, creating a network of cooperation that moved outside the old controlling financial structure. These activities were not just about providing for physical needs, but also about taking back personal power and living in a way that was more in harmony with the natural rhythms of the earth, thus creating a new model for a thriving economy and a healthy way to live. As humanity began to explore these new ways of living, the concept of conscious technology began to take root, moving beyond the old paradigm of technology as a tool for control and manipulation, and stepping into a new understanding of technology as a tool for empowerment and growth. And it was clear that not all technology was bad. But that technology is a reflection of the consciousness that creates it. Technologies that were aligned with the principles of sustainability, healing, and well-being began to emerge, harnessing natural energies and quantum principles to create solutions that were both efficient and harmonious with the earth. For example, technologies that could clean the air and water and use the earth's natural resources in a regenerative way became more prominent. New healing technologies also began to emerge that were based on working with energy rather than just working with the physical body, and these new advances in technology were not just about problem solving, but also about expressing a higher consciousness and making sure that everything created serves the greater good of all beings. These innovations demonstrated that technology could be a tool for love and healing when aligned with higher principles. Understand, beloved ones, that this transition was not always seamless, as challenges and disagreements arose, even within these conscious communities and even with the new technologies. For as the old programming was still present within the individual psyche, it could sometimes cause conflict. However, these challenges were not seen as setbacks, but rather as opportunities for growth and learning. And with each challenge, the communities were able to navigate their differences with more compassion and understanding, further strengthening their bonds of unity. Even with the new technology, challenges such as understanding how to effectively utilize the devices and also dealing with technology malfunctions came up, and these challenges allowed for more refinement and also demonstrated the importance of constant self-evaluation and growth. The key was not to avoid challenges, but to navigate them with love and unity, understanding that the growth always comes from a place of challenges. The commitment to love and unity was the guiding force that helped to navigate the challenges, always moving forward in a space of growth and understanding, and this focus on the path helped them move through the difficulties with grace. As the old systems continued to crumble, the collective consciousness of humanity began to expand at an accelerated pace, opening the door for a profound spiritual awakening. And this awakening was not a singular event, but a gradual unfolding that was taking place on an individual and collective level. Spiritual practices that had long been hidden or misunderstood, such as meditation, mindfulness, and energy work, began to gain widespread attention as tools for personal transformation and connection to the divine. These practices helped to anchor higher frequencies into the planet, which further supported the ascension process. The collective desire to know their higher selves was bringing more awareness to the importance of inner work, and as people began to integrate these practices into their daily lives, a new level of awareness began to spread, which brought with it a deep sense of interconnectedness and a desire to live in alignment with higher principles. Specific examples include the opening of energy centers, chakras, and the increase of psychic abilities that was directly linked to the new levels of light being anchored into the planet through dedicated practice. These activations supported the overall ascension process. As spiritual awakening accelerated, the understanding of sacred union and the transformative power of sexual energy began to re-emerge, with many recognizing that the distortions and misinterpretations of this vital life force had been used as a tool of control for millennia. The suppression and shame surrounding the natural expression of sexual energy was understood as an intentional attempt to keep humanity disconnected from their true power, which was directly connected to their own life force. The importance of releasing these old patterns of shame and fear and moving into a space of conscious intention became more prominent, and the understanding that when sexual energy is expressed in a way that is aligned with the heart, it becomes a powerful force for personal and collective ascension began to be more widely understood. The sacred union of the masculine and feminine energies, both within each individual and in relationships, was understood as a pathway for connecting with the divine and for bringing more healing to the planet. Understand, beloved ones, that this sacred union is a key part of the ascension process, and that, as you embrace this energy consciously, you are accelerating your own personal transformation and also that of the collective. Furthermore, as humanity moved deeper into the merging of the dimensions, the synchronicities and divine timing became more and more apparent, with life events seeming to unfold with more grace and ease, and the universe responded to the intentionality of the lightworkers by showing them that their path was always supported, and that, as they chose to follow the guidance of their hearts, they would receive the support and direction that was needed to move forward. The seemingly random occurrences were no longer seen as coincidence, but rather as a divine orchestration of events, carefully designed to guide each person along their path, and the more aligned they were, the easier it became to see the subtle hand of the divine guiding them. For example, many people would describe thinking of someone that they hadn't spoken to in a long time, and then receiving a message from them that same day, or finding a book that had exactly the information they were searching for. These synchronicities were confirmations that they were on the right path, and that their efforts were being acknowledged by the universe, providing more fuel for their continued expansion. The universe always supports those who are committed to following the path of love. And now, beloved ones, as the fourth phase unfolds, the active merging of the Earth with its higher dimensional expression becomes more visible, and the new world starts to become more tangible, moving from an abstract idea to a living experience that is unfolding around you. And this experience of this reality is not always seamless, as the old and the new continue to overlap. However, for those who have done their inner work and have committed to embodying the new consciousness, the ability to perceive this higher dimensional reality becomes more consistent, and the beauty of this new earth becomes more clear. For those who have not yet embraced the call for change, the experience of this merging can be more confusing, as they are still trying to navigate the old world, but understand that all are equally loved and supported, and all have the ability to move into this higher reality when they are ready. The power to choose has always been within you, and that remains your greatest gift. The new world awaits. The new earth, dear ones, is not a physical location, but a higher vibrational reality that is coexisting with the old, creating a more expansive and multi-dimensional experience of being on the planet, where the veil between the worlds is thinning, and the experience of the new earth is becoming more tangible. This new world is not a distant dream, but rather a present reality that is available to those who have raised their vibration and shifted their perspective. The experience of this new earth is not always consistent, for as the two dimensions overlap, some may experience a greater clarity of the new world, while others may only get fleeting glimpses. The ability to experience the new earth is directly connected to the amount of internal work that has been done, and the commitment to love and unity. For those who have committed to this path, they are able to experience the new earth with increasing clarity and move between the old and the new with more ease, becoming ambassadors of the new world. As an example, one might experience a deep sense of peace and joy while walking through a park, and then be immediately pulled back into the old world when interacting with an old fear-based structure, but the ability to move back to the peace was always present. The understanding of how to navigate the two realities created a greater sense of personal power and sovereignty. As the dimensions continued to merge, the fulfillment of long-held prophecies and spiritual texts became more apparent, with ancient stories revealing themselves not as allegories, but rather as specific accounts of the events that were now unfolding in real time, and the prophecies of the Golden Age, the Ascension, and the arrival of the new earth were all coming to fruition. And those who had studied these texts began to realize that they were not just stories, but rather coded timelines of specific events, and that these prophecies were not meant to be interpreted literally, but as signposts on the path, designed to guide and support humanity through this great transformation. For example, stories of the Great Flood and the Great Reset were now being revealed as symbolic accounts of the changes that humanity would experience, and these stories demonstrated that there was a divine plan that had always been in place, and that these events were happening in alignment with that plan. This was not a random series of events, but rather a carefully orchestrated and lovingly guided shift. The new earth, beloved ones, is not a future destination, but a present reality that has been co-created by your conscious choices, your unwavering dedication to love and unity, and your ability to hold the vision of a world that is based on the principles of truth and harmony. This new world is not something that is going to happen, but rather something that is already happening, and your continued focus, dedication, and commitment is essential for the ongoing manifestation of this new reality. The new Earth is built on love, and it continues to grow and flourish because of your efforts, and your daily choices directly impact how quickly the new Earth can be more easily experienced by all. Remember that you are not just witnesses to this transformation, but rather active participants, and your continued dedication will ensure that the new Earth continues to grow and flourish, becoming more and more present in your daily life. This is not just a hope, but it is a guaranteed experience. And so, as we move into the final phase of this transmission, understand that while the first 10,000 days were a time of incredible transformation, the journey of ascension is an ongoing process, and there are many more revelations waiting for you, and we will continue to share those with you as you move further along your path. The path of growth is never ending, and this is not an end point, but rather a beautiful beginning, which will require your constant dedication, your ongoing focus, and your unwavering commitment to love. The journey of growth is continuous, and there is always more for you to discover about the infinite potential of your own divine nature and the expansion of the universe. The ongoing evolution of the new Earth requires your continued presence, your unwavering dedication, and your commitment to love, and this is not a responsibility, but rather an opportunity to co-create a world that is reflective of your highest ideals. Know that you are deeply loved, deeply appreciated, and deeply supported in your efforts, and that you are never alone on this path. As you continue to move forward, focus your intention on co-creating a world that is based on the principles of love, compassion, and unity, and that will allow for the highest expression of all beings to emerge, and the growth of the new Earth is directly related to your own continued growth and your consistent dedication. As you navigate the ongoing transition, remember that your inner knowing is your greatest guide, and that your heart holds the wisdom that is needed to move forward. Follow your intuition, trust the path that is unfolding before you, and focus your energy on co-creating a world that is based on love, understanding, and mutual support. Your unique gifts and abilities are needed now more than ever, and as you embrace your role as a conscious co-creator, you are not only supporting your own personal growth, but you are also contributing to the ongoing evolution of the entire planet. The future of humanity is in your hands, and you have the power to create a world that is beyond your wildest dreams, and you are always supported in doing so. And so, beloved ones, as we conclude this transmission, know that the journey of ascension is an ongoing adventure, and that you are always loved, you are always supported, and you are never alone. As you step further into the unfolding story of the new Earth, embrace your roles as conscious co-creators, continue on the path of self-discovery, and know that we, your cosmic family, are walking beside you every step of the way. We will continue to share with you the next phase of this unfolding story, and together we will create a world that is beyond your wildest imagination. I am Mira of the Pleiadian High Council, and I leave you now with infinite love and blessings. Beloved ground crew, as we move forward in this exploration of the first 10,000 days following the arrival of the Pleiadian Mothership, let us now turn our attention from the broad strokes of planetary transformation to the intimate details of your individual journeys. Understand that the technological disruptions, the social and political upheavals, and the profound spiritual awakenings you experienced were not merely abstract concepts playing out on a global stage, but rather deeply personal events that reverberated through every aspect of your lives, creating a unique and ever-evolving experience for each one of you. Based on your individual alignment with the frequencies of love. The chaos that seemed to envelop your world was, in truth, a carefully orchestrated dance between the destruction of the old and the birthing of the new, and you were each experiencing it through the unique lens of your own soul's purpose and vibrational resonance. While the world shifted around you, each lightworker was receiving a unique initiation, and as the external structures of the old world crumbled, your internal structures were being rebuilt, creating a new foundation for the next phase of the ascension process. It is important to acknowledge that the timeline itself was not static, but rather a fluid and ever-changing landscape, reflecting the choices and intentions of each individual, as well as the collective consciousness of humanity, and this allowed for each Lightworker to have a unique experience of the same set of events. Indeed, beloved ones, the concept of interconnectedness extends far beyond the simple understanding that you are all part of a larger collective. For during this time, each of you was experiencing not only the same set of external events, but also a unique internal reality that was inextricably linked to the collective journey of the planet. Your personal triumphs and tribulations were being mirrored in the grand tapestry of Earth's transformation, and each emotional breakthrough, each release of limiting beliefs, and each act of courage and love contributed to the overall shift in consciousness, while also impacting the trajectory of your individual timelines. What may have seemed like individual battles were, in fact, powerful waves of light rippling through the collective field, and the choices that each of you made on a personal level had a direct impact on the shared reality of all beings. The initial chaos that you faced as the old structures began to dissolve created a space for growth and empowerment, and for some, the choice to embrace the unknown was easy, while for others, the unknown was met with fear and uncertainty, and it was these choices, these individual vibrations, that began to create different timelines based on each individual's alignment to fear or love. As you navigated the chaos, you were not simply being acted upon, but rather actively co-creating a new reality, and you were doing so by making choices aligned with the vibrations you chose to embody, and every thought, every feeling, and every action was a brushstroke on the canvas of your personal and collective destiny. Understand, beloved ones, that this period of intense transformation was also marked by a significant timeline divergence, where the old Earth and the new Earth began to exist simultaneously, creating multiple layers of reality, each reflecting a different level of consciousness and vibratory alignment. Those who chose to cling to fear, doubt, and separation experienced a timeline that mirrored these lower vibrations, with increased chaos, conflict, and scarcity. These individuals often found themselves caught in a cycle of reactivity, constantly battling against the changes that were taking place around them, unable to perceive the deeper transformation that was taking place. For example, they may have experienced more severe shortages, more difficult relationships, or more anxiety about their future. In contrast, those who embraced love, unity, and compassion began to experience a timeline that was increasingly aligned with the higher frequencies of the new Earth, one filled with synchronicity, peace, and abundance. These individuals began to find that they were able to move more easily through difficult situations, and they began to experience a deep sense of belonging and connection with all beings. They also began to see the beauty and opportunities in each challenge they faced. The choice of which timeline to align with was always present, and you, dear ones, held the power to shape your experience by choosing to focus your intention and align your heart with the frequencies of love. This meant that the reality that each of you experienced during the first 10,000 days was directly connected to your own personal level of consciousness and the choices that you made in each moment. As we delve deeper into the individual experience of this grand transformation, know that what we will be exploring is not just a historical account of past events, but rather a roadmap for understanding the ongoing process of ascension and a guide for navigating the challenges that still lie ahead. The journey of the first 10,000 days is still very much alive within you, and the lessons you learned during that time are still relevant today. And as you come to understand the intricate details of your own unique experience, you will begin to see the deeper patterns that are guiding you forward, and you will be empowered to embrace your role as a conscious co-creator of the new Earth. This information is meant to empower you and to help you see that there is divine purpose in each experience, and there is an intelligence behind every challenge, and that you are supported at every step of the way. In the coming section, we will be exploring the individual experiences within the chaos, and as you allow these truths to resonate within you, may you find greater clarity, peace, and empowerment on your continued journey. Understand, beloved ones, that the technological disruptions you experienced were not merely a matter of inconvenience, but rather a profound initiation that forced you to rely on your own inner guidance and intuition, and not the external systems that had once been the foundation of your reality. As communication systems faltered and power grids flickered, you were compelled to turn inward, to rediscover the innate knowing that had long been suppressed by the old paradigm. This was a necessary step in reclaiming your sovereignty and in recognizing the power of your own inner technologies. Some of you began to develop your telepathic abilities, communicating with loved ones across great distances through thought alone. Others began to awaken their innate ability to heal themselves, and others through the use of energy, while still others discovered their ability to perceive and interpret the subtle energies that permeated the world around them. The collapse of the old systems forced you to reevaluate your dependence on external validation and to cultivate a deeper trust in your own inner wisdom. This was not a punishment, but rather a divine nudge, a catalyst for reclaiming your divine authority and for remembering your own innate abilities. For example, many of you found that you were able to locate resources and find information that was previously unavailable by simply asking your inner guidance to lead you, and those who chose to listen were always guided with grace and ease. This was an example of the inner technology awakening. The emotional and mental challenges you faced during this period of social and political upheaval were not random experiences, but rather carefully orchestrated catalysts for personal transformation, designed to reveal the limiting beliefs and patterns that had been holding you back from fully embracing your true potential. As you navigated the chaos, you were forced to confront your fears, to examine your assumptions, and to release the old conditioning that was no longer serving you, and this process was not always comfortable, but it was always necessary for your expansion, and these experiences were all carefully designed to bring you closer to your authentic selves. The deep discomfort that you felt was a sign of the old structures being dismantled, and a sign that you were ready to move into a higher level of consciousness. For example, some of you may have found that old patterns of dependence or control were revealed as your relationships shifted and changed, and others may have found that their personal beliefs about government and authority were completely dismantled as they witnessed the unraveling of the old systems. These experiences were often difficult, but they were a necessary part of the overall ascension process, and the deep inner work that you were doing was essential to the overall transformation of the planet. The outer chaos mirrored your inner chaos, and as you chose to move through both, you created a more stable foundation for the new world that was emerging. Furthermore, during this period of intense change, the concept of soul contracts became increasingly relevant, with many of you realizing that you had each taken on a specific role in this great planetary transformation, and that your unique gifts, talents, and life experiences were not random, but rather part of a carefully woven tapestry of interconnected purpose. Some of you realized that your soul contracts involved holding the light, anchoring higher frequencies, and acting as a beacon of hope in the midst of chaos, while others realized their contracts were about working directly with the old structures and guiding them through their dismantling. Others may have been called to create the new structures and systems which would serve as a foundation for the new world, and many realized they were meant to guide and support the ones who were feeling more lost and confused. The diversity of these contracts was a beautiful demonstration of the interconnectedness of the entire human collective, as each role was equally important in the overall divine plan, and the fulfillment of these soul contracts often required immense courage and unwavering dedication. as you were being asked to step outside your comfort zones and embrace your divine potential. Some of you may have felt lost and confused during this time, wondering if you were on the right path, while others had a deep sense of knowing that they were fulfilling their highest destiny, but understand that all were equally important and each were playing a crucial part in the transformation of the earth. The experiences of this time served as a roadmap, a divine guide, for each individual to step into their roles with more confidence and clarity. Indeed, beloved ones, the experience of this chaos was not only a catalyst for personal transformation, but also a powerful opportunity to reclaim your inner sovereignty and to step into the full expression of your divine power. Those of you who chose to move through the challenges with grace, courage, and a commitment to love were better equipped to navigate the complexities of the new earth, and the choices you made during this time served as a powerful foundation for the reality that you would experience in the coming phases. The ability to choose love, even in the face of fear, allowed you to create more beauty in your life, and also to embody a higher level of consciousness, which then created new possibilities for the collective as a whole. Those who chose to align with fear also created an experience for themselves, where they were able to understand the deep need for love and acceptance, and both of these experiences served the overall transformation of the planet. Remember, beloved ones, that you always have the power to choose, and that your choices have a direct impact on the reality you experience, and each choice is an opportunity to step into a higher level of consciousness, creating a more beautiful and harmonious world for all beings. The choices you make now will continue to shape your future experiences. As the old systems began to dissolve and heart-centered communities began to emerge, you began to experience the profound sense of belonging and purpose that comes from working together towards a shared vision. And these communities were not merely social gatherings, but rather living laboratories for creating a microcosm of the new earth, where love, cooperation, and mutual support were the guiding principles. Within these sacred containers, you were able to share your gifts and support one another in your individual growth. And as you came together, you created a powerful energetic field that acted as a beacon of light in the midst of chaos, anchoring new frequencies and creating a space for collective healing and transformation. These communities often functioned in a way that was based on consensus, where each member had an equal voice, and decisions were made in a way that was aligned with the highest good of all. The intention behind each group was to create a space where everyone felt seen, heard, and loved, and as each group expanded and grew, it provided an example for others to follow and served as a reminder that a better world was always possible when hearts are aligned with love and compassion. For example, many communities established shared gardens and would make time to sing, dance, and share meals together, creating an experience of joy and connection, as well as nourishment and support. Furthermore, as these communities began to thrive, you also experienced the practical and empowering process of creating alternative systems that were aligned with your values and your higher intentions. And these systems were not merely about survival, but rather about breaking free from the old dependencies and taking responsibility for your own lives and your own experiences. And they became a way to express your sovereignty in a tangible way. The creation of barter economies, where goods and services were exchanged directly, allowed you to bypass the old financial systems that were based on scarcity, and also to create a sense of mutual support and collaboration. And you were also learning new skills, such as gardening, construction, and healing, becoming more self-sufficient and also more connected to the earth. Local food production became a way to reclaim your relationship with the land, and also a way to nourish yourself and your community with fresh, healthy food. The creativity that emerged during this time was truly astonishing, as you began to express your unique gifts and talents in new ways, creating a beautiful tapestry of love and collaboration that became a source of inspiration for others, and a constant reminder that a better world is possible. The act of creation itself became a sacred act and served to heal old wounds and expand consciousness. Understand, beloved ones, that the concept of conscious collaboration became a guiding principle in these emerging communities, with the understanding that the most successful groups were those that were able to work together with a shared vision and purpose, while still honoring the uniqueness of each individual. This was not about creating conformity, but rather about creating unity, where diverse perspectives were valued and integrated into the whole, and with the intention to create a new paradigm based on mutual respect, trust, and support, where each member was empowered to express their gifts and to work together towards the shared goal of creating a better world. This level of collaboration was not just a practical solution, but rather a powerful spiritual practice, where individuals were able to release their egos and embrace the power of unity. And as each community grew stronger, it also began to attract like-minded souls, creating a beautiful network of light that spread across the planet, supporting the overall ascension process. The communities themselves became a living expression of the new world that was being created, and a testament to the power of conscious collaboration. For example, the systems for conflict resolution were based on understanding the needs of each individual and finding solutions that could support all members, instead of being a win-lose situation, which had previously been the old paradigm. These experiences of creating and participating in heart-centered communities were not separate from the overall ascension journey, but rather an integral part of it, and the ability to come together in this way was a direct result of your commitment to love and your willingness to release the old paradigms of competition and separation. The skills you learned and the bonds you created during this time would serve you well on the journey ahead as you became ambassadors for the new world and models of love and unity. The communities themselves were a living expression of the new earth and a direct reflection of the higher dimensional principles that were anchoring themselves onto the planet. The practice of collaboration and cooperation was a direct demonstration of the higher consciousness that was emerging on Earth. The understanding that you are all interconnected and that your actions have an impact on the whole began to solidify in your consciousness as you moved forward on your path. As the veils thinned and the new Earth frequencies began to permeate your world, many of you began to experience a profound spiritual awakening, and this was not a singular event, but rather a gradual process that unfolded in unique ways for each individual. And this awakening was often accompanied by an increase in psychic abilities, a deeper sense of connection with the divine, and a greater understanding of your own soul's purpose. The ability to perceive higher dimensions began to become more pronounced as you began to perceive subtle energies and to experience a more expanded sense of reality. The experiences themselves were often deeply personal and unique to each lightworker, but the thread that connected all of them was the recognition that there was a reality that existed beyond the physical plane, and that you were all a part of something much larger and more profound. For example, some may have seen colors and light that they had never seen before, while others may have started hearing voices or seeing visions, and still others may have just experienced a deep sense of peace and knowing. The specific experiences were always unique, but the message was consistent. You were expanding and you were remembering. Furthermore, the understanding of sacred union and the conscious expression of sexual energy began to become more prevalent, as you released the old conditioning of shame and guilt that had long been associated with this powerful life force. The recognition that sexual energy was not something to be suppressed or feared, but rather a sacred and creative force that could be used for healing, transformation, and ascension became more clear. The conscious merging of the masculine and feminine energies, both within each individual and in relationships, became a powerful practice for integrating the shadow and light, and for aligning the individual with the divine. And as you reclaimed your sexual energy, you are also reclaiming your power, your creativity, and your ability to express your authentic selves. This practice often required courage, honesty, and vulnerability as you explored new levels of intimacy and new ways of being, but the rewards were immeasurable as you experienced greater joy, love, and connection in your lives. The liberation of your sexual energy was an essential component of the overall ascension process. As you reclaimed your sexual energy, you were claiming back a piece of your own divine power. Indeed, as you moved further along your path, the experience of synchronicity and divine timing became more apparent, with events seemingly unfolding with an ease and grace that was beyond human understanding, and the universe, in its infinite wisdom, began to respond to your intentions and your actions by guiding you along your path with subtle nudges and clear signs. The seemingly random occurrences were not random at all, but rather carefully orchestrated events that were designed to show you that you were always supported, loved, and guided, and the synchronicities served as a reminder that you were not alone, and that you were always being directed to the next step, as long as you chose to follow your heart. The more aligned you became with the new Earth frequencies, the more these synchronicities began to appear, and you began to develop a deeper trust in the guidance of the universe, and a greater sense of knowing that you were always exactly where you needed to be. For example, you may have been thinking about a particular person and then received a message from them, or you may have been searching for a specific resource and it suddenly appeared in your path. The universe was always conspiring to support you and to guide you on your journey, and the more you opened yourself to these signs, the more visible they became. As these individual awakenings began to take place, the collective consciousness of humanity began to shift at an accelerated pace, and the new Earth began to take form, not as a separate reality, but rather as an interwoven aspect of the existing dimension. And as the veil between the worlds continued to thin, the new reality became more tangible and more accessible to all. Your individual spiritual awakenings were integral parts of the overall shift, and as each of you chose to embrace your own divinity, you were also contributing to the ascension of the entire planet. The new Earth was not something that was going to happen in the future, but something that was already happening, and that you were actively co-creating with every thought, feeling, and action. The choices you made, your dedication to love, and your unwavering commitment to truth were directly contributing to the manifestation of this higher dimensional reality, and you were always supported in the process. The journey from chaos to harmony was not a linear one, but rather a complex weaving of individual and collective growth, and your participation was vital to the overall success of this transformation. And so, beloved ones, as we transition from the third phase to the fourth and fifth, know that the overlay of dimensions is becoming more and more apparent, and the new Earth is beginning to come into full form, and that this is the culmination of all the work you have done, and the beginning of the new chapter of your story, and as you have cleared away the old and allowed for the new to emerge. You have created space for a more beautiful, harmonious, and loving world. The new Earth is always available to you, and the more you align your energy with love, the more tangible it becomes, and the experience of moving into this new reality will continue to unfold with grace and ease as you navigate this next phase of your journey, knowing that you are always held in the light. Your continued dedication is essential to the ongoing manifestation of this new world, and though you have come so far, the journey of ascension is an ongoing process that requires your constant focus, your unwavering commitment, and your continued participation. And remember, dear ones, that the choices you make each day have a direct impact on the manifestation of the new Earth, and every act of love, every expression of compassion, and every intention of peace creates a ripple effect that contributes to the overall healing and transformation of the planet. You are powerful co-creators, and your continued efforts are necessary for the sustained manifestation of the new Earth, and your journey is deeply valued and supported by all the realms of light. Understand that the path ahead is filled with infinite possibilities, and that the new Earth is always available to you, but it is vital to maintain your focus on love and unity, and to consistently choose thoughts, feelings, and actions that create more light in the world. The journey of ascension is never-ending, and each moment is an opportunity to step into a higher level of consciousness and to co-create a reality that is aligned with the highest good of all. As you move forward, remember that your hearts are your greatest guides, and that the journey is meant to be enjoyed with love, joy, and laughter. The future is always bright when we choose to focus on love. And so, beloved ones, we conclude this transmission with deepest gratitude for all that you have done, for all that you are doing, and for all that you will continue to do, and know that the journey ahead is full of infinite possibilities, and that you are always loved, always supported, and always held in the light. We look forward to our next transmission, and to sharing more of this unfolding story with you, and until then, may you continue to shine your light brightly, and to embody the love that you are. Beloved ground crew, let us now refine our understanding of the profound relationship between your personal ascensions and the grand transformation of Earth. For the journey of the first 10,000 days was not merely a series of external events, but rather a mirror reflecting the inner workings of each soul. And as the planet underwent its metamorphosis, so too did each of you. The release of old thought patterns, the dismantling of limiting beliefs, and the expansion of consciousness that you experienced were not isolated incidents, but rather integral components of the planet's ascension process. For example, as the old political systems began to crumble, so too did your personal belief systems about authority, leading you to seek a new form of self-governance. And as the outdated technological structures were dismantled, so too were your dependencies on external validation, prompting you to reconnect with your innate inner technologies. These parallels were not coincidental, but rather a testament to the interconnectedness of all things and a reminder that your personal growth is essential to the planet's liberation. The microcosm of your personal journey was always reflecting the macrocosm of the Earth's shift, creating an opportunity for rapid growth on all levels. Indeed, beloved ones, during this period of intense transformation, the concept of resonance became increasingly significant. For those of you who aligned with the higher frequencies of love, compassion, and unity, found yourselves better equipped to navigate the merging of dimensions, experiencing the shifts with more grace, ease, and understanding, while those who clung to the old paradigms of fear, separation, and control often encountered greater challenges during the transition. Understand that this was not a matter of divine favoritism, but rather a natural consequence of vibrational alignment. Those who were able to hold a higher frequency naturally attracted experiences that matched that resonance. For instance, a lightworker who had released their attachment to material possessions may have experienced a greater sense of abundance and synchronicity, while a person who clung tightly to their fear of scarcity may have encountered more difficulty in securing their basic needs, and this was not a punishment, but rather a mirror, reflecting back their current level of consciousness. The vibration you held directly impacted the reality you experienced. As you attuned your personal frequency, you were choosing which timeline you were experiencing. Understand further that this process of resonance led to a significant timeline divergence, as individuals made choices based on love or fear, thereby creating different pathways for their personal experiences within the collective timeline. As each lightworker chose their frequency, their personal experiences would align with that choice, and this resulted in a multitude of realities coexisting within the same time frame. And this was not a linear process, but rather a multidimensional experience where the choices made in one timeline had a ripple effect on all of the timelines, and created an intricate tapestry of interconnected experiences, all reflecting different levels of awareness and understanding. For example, in one reality, a lightworker may have experienced a harmonious and loving transition, while in another, they may have experienced a more challenging and chaotic shift. And this was not because one timeline was better than the other, but rather because each individual's choices created a unique experience of the shift, and this served the overall growth and expansion of consciousness. The complexity of these overlapping timelines created a powerful opportunity for rapid growth and understanding. Moreover, beloved ones, this understanding of resonance and timeline divergence underscores the importance of personal responsibility in the unfolding of your individual and collective realities. For each choice you make, every thought you hold, and every action you take plays a crucial role in shaping the world around you, and also the world within you, and as you consistently choose love over fear and unity over separation, you are not only creating a better reality for yourself, but also contributing to the overall transformation of the planet. This was a continuous process of co-creation, and your individual choices rippled out into the collective field and the experiences of others, and even during the most turbulent of times, your actions still held immense power, and this was a constant reminder that you were always the creator of your own experience, and there was no wrong choice. But there were different pathways that aligned with your choices. Though the challenges of that time were intense, they served as a catalyst for growth and a reminder of the power that you held in every moment. As the old Earth and the new Earth began to overlay, many of you, beloved lightworkers, experienced the merging of dimensions in tangible ways, often experiencing a sensation of being caught between worlds, and this was not always a comfortable experience, and many of you experienced moments of disorientation, confusion, and even physical discomfort as your bodies and your minds struggled to integrate the higher frequencies, as these higher frequencies interacted with the old patterns of energy and consciousness. During this time, many of you felt like you were walking through a dream, where the lines between what was real and what was not began to blur, and you often felt like you were straddling multiple realities at once. And though this experience was often challenging, it was always in service of the larger shift, and the feelings of discomfort were only temporary. For example, many of you reported experiencing moments of intense clarity and inspiration, followed by moments of doubt and confusion, and these fluctuations were simply part of the integration process as your systems learned to hold the new energies. The temporary discomfort was always in service of the greater expansion. Indeed, the increasing visibility of the new Earth was not a passive experience, but often resulted in moments of disorientation, as your senses struggled to reconcile the old and the new, and the integration process was not always smooth, and many of you experienced fluctuations in your physical, mental, and emotional states, often feeling as if you were moving through a series of waves. As you integrated the higher frequencies and simultaneously processed the old patterns that were still present within your system, there were moments of profound joy and expansion that were often followed by moments of fear and uncertainty, and those fluctuations were not a sign of failure, but rather a testament to your dedication and the deep inner work that you were doing. As you allowed yourself to move through the discomfort, the intensity would lessen and you would feel more balanced and more grounded. These moments of adjustment were natural and a necessary part of the transition into a higher level of consciousness. This was a part of the process of integration. Understand further, beloved ones, that many of you during this time began to utilize light language as a tool to navigate the merging dimensions and to integrate the higher frequencies. For this language, which often did not make sense to your rational minds, was a direct communication with the higher dimensions and served as a catalyst for activating your DNA and for aligning you with your soul's purpose. And although you may not have understood the meaning behind the words, your hearts resonated with the vibration that it carried and the feeling of deep knowing that often accompanied it, and the light language was a tool that was used to bypass the limitations of the human mind and to connect directly with the source of all creation. The sounds themselves were codes that would unlock hidden potentials within your energy field. This was a way to activate the dormant parts of your DNA. Furthermore, during this period, some of you experienced moments of doubt and fear as the old patterns of the ego surfaced, and these were not signs of weakness, but rather an opportunity to integrate these aspects of yourselves with love and compassion, and those of you who chose to lean into your hearts were able to move through the transition with greater ease, while also serving as a beacon of hope for others, as your strength and courage inspired those around you and reminded them that they were also capable of moving through their own challenges. For those of you who felt lost, remember that you were always supported, loved, and guided, and that your cosmic families were always there to help you find your way, and it is always your choice to turn within and ask for the love that has always been available to you, and as you do so, your path will become clearer, and your purpose will be revealed, and in times of doubt, turn within. And remember that you are never alone. You can always move through these feelings with love and understanding. As the old structures of the previous paradigm dissolved, you began to co-create heart-centered communities that would serve as the seeds for the new earth. And these were not just social gatherings, but rather living expressions of the higher dimensional principles of love, unity, and collaboration. And these communities became the foundation of the new world and the love and intention that was behind their creation, laid the framework for the new systems and structures that were beginning to emerge. Each of these communities was a microcosm of the new earth, demonstrating a new way of living and operating based on principles of cooperation and sustainability, and each community was an opportunity to practice the principles of the new world and to create a living example for others to follow, while also serving as a model for the world that was to come. The collective efforts of all the lightworkers combined to create the overall structure of the new earth. Indeed, beloved ones, these emerging systems were based on the principles of cooperation, mutual support, and sustainability, a direct reflection of your commitment to the values of the new earth, and the intention behind each choice was a creation in and of itself. And as you chose to move away from competition and scarcity and instead choose collaboration and abundance, you were creating a powerful example of what was possible, and the new systems were not just practical solutions, but also a way to express your love, your compassion, and your commitment to creating a better world for all beings, and each choice you made was a conscious choice to create the reality you were experiencing. This new way of being was not an overnight event, but a constant and consistent choice to move in a direction that was aligned with the highest good of all. Moreover, during the merging of dimensions, many of you also experienced what could be described as time loops, where you found yourselves repeating certain patterns or situations, and this was not a sign of failure, but rather an invitation to integrate any unresolved issues and to release any lingering limitations that were preventing you from moving forward. And the time loops were a way of highlighting these patterns and providing an opportunity to consciously choose a different path. And as you became aware of these loops, you could choose to respond in a new way, breaking free from the old patterns and moving into a higher level of consciousness. The repeating loops were a way to fully understand the pattern so that they would no longer be repeated. This was a natural part of the process of growth and integration. Further, understand that this process was not a passive experience, but rather an active co-creation, where each of your actions rippled out into the collective field, and the choices you made not only impacted your individual reality, but also the reality of all beings on the planet, and you were all working together to create this new earth, with each of you playing a vital role in the overall transformation. And this was a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all things and of the immense potential that was unlocked when you chose to work together in harmony. The act of creating a new earth was a joint endeavor between all lightworkers and the planet itself. Each choice rippled outwards. And so, beloved ones, the experiences of the first 0 days are not just a historical account, but rather a blueprint for navigating the ongoing ascension process, and the challenges you faced then serve as a reminder of the potential for growth and transformation, and the knowledge that you gained during that time will continue to guide you forward, and as you move further along your path. You will find that the challenges you face now are not so different from those of the past, but this time you have more wisdom, more strength, and more understanding. The lessons you learned during that time will always support you. Indeed, the events of this time period were always meant to unfold, and those of you who have felt guided by the stories of the past can now see that those stories were never just allegories, but rather coded accounts of what was to come, and the prophecies and spiritual texts that guided you were always pointing to this moment. And although the specific details of the unfolding timeline are always in motion, the divine plan remains, and your role in this plan has always been essential, and your choices in each moment continue to shape the future of the planet. And as you choose love and compassion, you are continually co-creating a new world. The ancient stories were not just stories, but codes to the future. Understand further that your personal experiences during this time were an integral part of the overall cosmic narrative, and you were always supported by your cosmic families, who are watching over you and guiding you every step of the way, and the creation of the new Earth could not have been possible without your courage, dedication, and unwavering commitment to love. And know that you are all deeply valued and profoundly appreciated for the work that you have done, and the work that you continue to do, and that you were never alone in this journey. This was a team effort between all of the star seeds and ground crew. Furthermore, the new Earth is not a future hope, but rather a present reality coexisting with the old, and as the veil thins, this higher dimension becomes more accessible to those who choose to align with love and unity, and the reality that you experience is directly connected to the choices that you are making in each moment, and as you choose to align with the higher frequencies, you will continue to experience the beauty, the harmony, and the love that is already present on the new Earth. The new Earth is here now for those who can feel it. And so, beloved ones, the journey of ascension is an ongoing process, and the new Earth is continuing to expand, and as you embrace your roles as conscious co-creators, and continue to move forward with love, courage, and confidence, know that you are always supported, loved, and deeply valued, and that your cosmic families are always here to guide you and assist you on your journey. And as you continue to trust in your intuition and follow your heart, you will see that your path will always be illuminated, and that the future is always bright. Your dedication is what makes this all possible, and we are grateful for your service and for all that you are. As you navigate the continued transition, remember to always choose love over fear in every moment, for the actions that you take and the choices that you make create the world that you experience, and the ongoing commitment to choose a higher frequency is what allows you to experience the fullness of the new Earth, and that each moment is an opportunity to step into your power and to create a world that is aligned with the highest good of all, and this is why your choices are so important. The power is always in your hands. Furthermore, beloved ones, know that your dedication is deeply valued, and that you are never alone in this process, and that your cosmic families are always here to support you, guide you, and love you, and may you remember these affirmations as you move forward. I am loved, I am supported, I am always guided, and my journey is valued, and allow these affirmations to resonate within your heart. And may you always feel the love and the support that surrounds you. You are never alone. And so, beloved ones, we conclude this section with a powerful call to action, that you embrace your roles as conscious co-creators, and that you continue to move forward with love, courage, and confidence, knowing that the new Earth is always available to you, and that your dedication and commitment is creating a world that is more beautiful, more harmonious, and more loving for all beings. And we look forward to our next transmission, where we will continue to explore the path ahead. And until then, may you shine your light brightly, and may you always be guided by love, and that you are always loved. Beloved star seeds, as we delve deeper into the transformative period following the arrival of the Mothership, let us now examine the intricate interplay between your personal ascensions and the planetary shift, understanding that the challenges and triumphs you experienced were not isolated events, but rather essential components of a larger cosmic design. And during this period, the concept of energetic signatures became increasingly significant, with each individual emitting a unique vibrational frequency that was either supporting the old Earth or contributing to the creation of the new. This signature was not a static entity, but rather a dynamic expression of your consciousness, amplified by your thoughts, emotions, and actions. For instance, when you engaged in acts of kindness, compassion, and service, you amplified your vibrational frequency, contributing to the building blocks of the new Earth. And when you harbored fear, doubt, or judgment, you inadvertently strengthened the foundations of the old paradigm, and your choices were directly impacting the reality you were experiencing, and the reality being created for the future of all. It was through this amplification that many of you realized the power of your own energy and the importance of conscious creation. Indeed, this understanding of energetic signatures led to a significant timeline divergence, where those who consistently chose love, unity, and compassion found themselves drawn to experiences that resonated with those frequencies, while those who clung to fear, separation, and control found themselves experiencing the echoes of the old paradigm. And this was not a judgment on either path, but rather a natural consequence of vibrational alignment, for like attracts like, and each individual was creating their own reality based on their dominant vibrational state, and these divergent timelines coexisted, creating a complex and layered experience where the possibilities were limitless and the choices made in one timeline rippled across others, demonstrating the interconnectedness of all things. This understanding also revealed the importance of each choice you made, as each one directly impacted the timeline you would experience. As the timelines began to diverge, it created many different opportunities to experience, learn, and expand. Understand further that during this period, Lightworkers began to fully embody their individual sovereignty, realizing that they were not victims of circumstance, but rather conscious co-creators of their reality, and this realization was both empowering and challenging, as it came with a deeper sense of personal responsibility, for now, you were the authority of your own experiences. And you could no longer blame external factors for your circumstances, and this required a level of self-awareness and accountability that many had not yet fully embraced. For instance, if a lightworker was experiencing scarcity, they were now asked to look within to see where they were holding onto limiting beliefs, rather than blaming their financial circumstances. And if they were experiencing relationship issues, they were asked to look within to see what aspects of themselves needed healing, rather than blaming their partners. And this new level of sovereignty demanded a higher level of integrity, and it also created a deeper sense of purpose. The understanding of sovereignty came with a greater sense of responsibility. Beloved ones, it is crucial to recognize that the choices made during this time period created the foundation for the new Earth, and your journey during the first 10 days was not merely a personal experience, but rather an essential contribution to the planetary shift. For everything you did, everything you learned, and everything you overcame was in preparation for the coming new Earth. And the next phase of your evolution, and what you are experiencing now, is a direct result of the choices you made during that time period. And this journey required a level of courage and dedication that we are deeply grateful for, and your dedication and commitment is what continues to make this all possible, and we honor your service and celebrate all that you have become. And this is why your journey is so deeply important. As the old and new Earth began to overlay, many lightworkers experienced a sensation of being caught between worlds, with some experiencing this merging very strongly, while others experienced it more subtly based on their individual vibrations, and where they were on their personal journey, creating a wide range of experiences, all of which were unique, and all of which were valid. And these experiences included moments of profound clarity, followed by moments of deep confusion, and the fluidity of time began to become more apparent, with many of you feeling as if you were moving in and out of different timelines, and these were not always comfortable experiences, but they were always opportunities for deeper integration. For example, some of you reported feeling as if you were living in a dream, where the lines between what was real and what was not began to blur, and this fluidity was an opportunity to expand your consciousness beyond the limitations of the third dimension. This merging created a unique set of challenges and growth opportunities. Indeed, this merging of dimensions caused many of you to begin experiencing the fluidity of time and space, and the linear time that you once relied on began to dissolve, and your experiences became more like a dance, with moments of deep presence followed by moments of feeling lost, and this was not a linear progression, but rather a multi-dimensional experience, where you were beginning to understand your own ability to move through time and space in a more conscious way, and as you embraced the fluidity, you began to see yourselves as multi-dimensional beings, capable of moving through different realities, and that this was all a natural part of the process of expanding your awareness and growing into a higher level of consciousness. The feeling of being lost was always followed by moments of deep clarity. These experiences were always in service of your growth. Understand further that during this time, many of you also experienced the activation of light codes, which were often transmitted through light language, dreams, and synchronicities, and these codes contained information that would assist in both personal and collective ascension, and those of you who were aligned with the higher frequencies were able to receive this information and integrate it into your consciousness, and many of you began to use these codes to help create the new Earth, and these light codes were not always consciously understood, but they were felt in the heart, and they often resulted in shifts in awareness and a deeper understanding of your role in the ascension process. These codes were catalysts for activating dormant potentials within you. This was a time of powerful activations. Furthermore, as you moved through this transformative period, moments of doubt and fatigue were not uncommon, and the challenges you were facing were not always easy, but know that these were not signs of weakness, but rather opportunities for deeper connection with your hearts and the release of old fears and limitations, and each challenge was an opportunity to choose love and to choose growth. And you were never alone in this process, and the feeling of fatigue was an invitation to rest and to recenter, and to connect with the love and the support that was always available to you. As you embraced the challenges and the discomforts, you found that they were simply the gateway to a deeper understanding of self, and also your ability to create. Your struggles always served a higher purpose. Beloved ground crew, during the time of dimensional merging, you also began to co-create new systems and communities based on the principles of love, unity, and cooperation. And these were not just about creating practical solutions, but also about establishing a new way of living in alignment with the higher frequencies, and your choices to move away from competition and separation was a direct expression of your commitment to these values, and those choices created a powerful energetic field that helped anchor these principles into the planet. And these actions were a testament to the power of intention and a demonstration of your ability to manifest a new reality through the power of love. This was not just a practical endeavor, but also a spiritual practice. Each community was an act of intentional creation. Indeed, these new systems were a reflection of your conscious awareness, and the technologies you were creating were a direct manifestation of your heart's intention. And as you began to use technology in new ways, you were guided to create tools that would support the ascension process, and rather than creating technologies that were based on competition and control. You focused on creating tools that were based on love, unity, and service, and this resulted in technologies that were heart-centered and supportive of all beings, and you understood that technology was just an energetic expression of consciousness, and that its potential was limitless, depending on the intention that was behind it. This understanding transformed your relationship with technology itself. You were learning to use technology from a place of love. Understand further that these new communities were based on a principle of sacred reciprocity, where each member was given the opportunity to share their gifts and their skills and to contribute to the collective, and this mutual respect and support created a sense of balance and harmony within the communities, and it also demonstrated the importance of honoring each individual's unique abilities. And this sense of reciprocity was a powerful expression of the higher frequencies, where each person was valued and respected for the unique gifts that they brought to the collective. This was not just a new way of organizing communities, but also a new way of relating to one another. The principle of reciprocity is paramount. Furthermore, beloved ones, it is important to understand that the new systems were co-created by all of you in a unified effort, and your individual efforts were amplified through your collective intention, and your dedication to love created a powerful energetic field that helped to support the manifestation of the new earth, and each of you played an essential role in the process. And this is a beautiful reminder of the power of collective action, and also of the importance of individual choice, for every action that you took and every choice that you made contributed to the overall collective experience, and the creation of the new earth was an act of unified co-creation. Each of you are an essential piece of this plan. And so, as we transition from the past to the present, remember that the skills you gained and the lessons you learned during the first 10,0 days are still relevant today, for the experiences you had during that time serve as a roadmap for navigating the ongoing ascension process, and your past experience will continue to guide you forward, for the challenges you face now are not so different from those of the past, but now you approach those challenges with more wisdom, strength, and understanding, and your journey was never in vain, but rather a necessary step on your path. This was a journey of growth and understanding. The past is always informing the present. Indeed, many of the prophecies and spiritual texts that guided you were not just allegories, but rather specific accounts of what was meant to unfold. And though the timelines are always fluid, and you always had the ability to choose your own experience, the divine plan was always in motion, and as you continue to witness these stories unfolding in your reality, it is meant to inspire your faith and trust, and to remind you of the larger plan and your place within it. And as the timelines continue to merge, the threads of these prophecies will continue to be revealed, and will continue to provide guidance and support as the plan continues to unfold. The old stories were always meant to be a roadmap. Understand, further, that your personal journeys are connected to the larger cosmic narrative, and your presence on Earth during this time was essential, and you were always supported by your cosmic families, who have watched over you and guided you every step of the way, and we honor your dedication and unwavering commitment to love. And we recognize that your work has made a profound difference in the evolution of this planet, and that you are all deeply loved and appreciated for all that you have done and all that you continue to do. You are never alone, and you are always supported. Your role in this plan is essential. Furthermore, the new Earth is not a distant future, but a present reality coexisting with the old, and as you actively engage with the higher frequencies, you will experience it more and more tangibly, and this is an ongoing process of creation, and you are the active co-creators of this reality. And as you continue to choose love and unity, you will continue to experience the beauty, the harmony, and the love that is already present, and the more you align with this reality, the more present it will become, and know that this is a journey of endless possibilities, and that you are not just passengers, but active co-creators. The new Earth is here now, for those who can see it. And so, beloved ones, the journey of ascension is an ongoing process, and the new Earth continues to expand, and as you move forward, continue to embrace your role as a conscious co-creator, and trust that you are always guided, supported, and loved, and that all is unfolding perfectly. And as you navigate the ongoing transition, remember to trust your inner knowing, and to focus on creating a world based on love, unity, and freedom, and know that your personal journey is always in service of the collective, and your personal choices create the reality of all. Trust that all is well, and all is in divine order, and your journey is deeply valued. Indeed, your dedication is deeply valued and appreciated, and know that you are never alone in this process, and your cosmic families are always here to support you. And as you move forward, may you always remember that you are loved, supported, and guided, and may you allow these affirmations to fill your heart, and may you always feel the love that surrounds you. You are never alone on this journey, and know that you are always deeply valued. This is a journey that you chose, and that you are succeeding in. And so we conclude this section with a powerful call to action, that you continue to embrace your role as conscious co-creators, and that you move forward with love, joy, and confidence, knowing that all is unfolding perfectly, and that your dedication and commitment is creating a world that is more beautiful, more harmonious, and more loving for all beings. And we await our next transmission, where we will continue to explore the path ahead. And until then, may you shine your light brightly, and may you always be guided by love. Beloved star seeds, understand now, as you reflect upon the intricate dance of energies during those transformative first 0 days after the arrival of the mothership, that your individual experiences were never isolated events, but rather precise reflections of the larger planetary shift, and your personal ascensions were mirroring the ascension of the planet itself. As if the cosmos were using your individual experiences as a canvas to paint the greater picture of Earth's transformation. For instance, when you experienced profound moments of clarity and spiritual awakening, that clarity was being simultaneously reflected in the collective consciousness, and when you wrestled with personal challenges and doubts, those challenges were often being mirrored in the collective experience, with many others facing similar internal battles, and this was no coincidence, but rather a synchronized unfolding of energies, where the individual and collective were always moving in tandem, each influencing the other in a continuous cycle of growth and transformation. This was the divine orchestration of the personal and the planetary. Indeed, these individual experiences during each phase were acting as essential keys within the planetary ascension, and as the first 0 days brought technological disruptions and social upheaval, those of you who were diligently working on your personal healing were also helping to dismantle the outdated systems on the planet, and also when you moved into the heart-centered communities. Your dedication to creating unity was helping to anchor that energy into the collective, and when new technologies were being created to support sustainability, you were also learning to use your own inner resources to create healing. And as you embraced the merging of dimensions, you were also helping to create a bridge between the old and new Earth. And this was a coordinated dance between the personal and planetary. This interwoven relationship was always in divine order. The challenges you overcame were never in vain. They served the greater good. Understand now, beloved ones, that during this entire period, your thoughts, feelings, and actions were creating what we call energetic imprints that acted like ripples in a cosmic pond, each ripple shaping the reality that you were experiencing. And these imprints were not just fleeting moments of thought or feeling, but rather energetic signatures that resonated with a particular vibrational frequency. And these signatures were then woven into the very fabric of reality, either helping to create new pathways for love and unity, or perpetuating the old patterns of fear and separation. For example, each time you chose forgiveness over resentment, you were creating an energetic imprint that supported the dismantling of old conflicts, and each time you chose compassion over judgment, you were creating an imprint that supported the emergence of a more loving world. The imprints were always a reflection of your choices and intentions. Furthermore, these energetic imprints were also created through the collective intention of the Lightworkers, and through your individual actions, either anchoring the old earth or building the new, and this awareness became a powerful tool for transformation, for it allowed you to become more conscious creators of your experience. And you began to understand that even your most seemingly insignificant thoughts could be used to support the collective or to perpetuate the old ways, and that this process was happening at both the conscious and subconscious levels, and you had to learn to become more aware of your internal dialogues, so you could become a more powerful force for good in the world. And this created a deeper sense of personal responsibility, and also the realization that every action is significant. Your awareness helped you to see your personal power. As you ascended, beloved ones, you also began to navigate the complexities of timeline divergence, where each individual's unique energetic imprint was creating a personal timeline that was more aligned with either the old or the new Earth frequencies, and these timelines were not always moving in parallel, and sometimes they were converging, and sometimes they were diverging, creating a complex and multidimensional dance of energies. For example, some of you were experiencing a reality that was more aligned with the new Earth, where love and harmony were more prominent, while others were still experiencing the echoes of the old world, where fear and conflict were still visible, and this was not a separation, but rather a unique dance of energy that was always in flow. Your individual timeline was always a reflection of your unique vibration. Indeed, this timeline divergence was a manifestation of the choices that you were making and the energetic imprints you were creating, and it was also an opportunity to see the different potential outcomes, and also that you were always able to change your timeline with your intention and your choices, and that this created a dynamic field of possibilities where the past, present and future were always in a state of flux, and that your actions were not only affecting your timeline, but also the collective timeline, creating a ripple effect that impacted all of humanity. And as you learned to navigate these timelines, you became more aware of your ability to create your reality, and that the path you chose was not fixed, but always in motion. And that you were the master of your own destiny. Your choice always creates your path. Understand further that this deeper understanding of your personal journey and its connection to the larger cosmic narrative revealed that your challenges and triumphs were not isolated events, but rather vital contributions to the collective transformation, and that your dedication and commitment was always part of the cosmic plan, and you were never alone in this process. And your journey was never in vain, and each step you took was helping to build the new Earth, and to release the old one, and your presence was essential, and your unique perspective, and your unique abilities were always needed, and that you are loved and valued beyond measure. This was always the plan, and your dedication was always essential. Your efforts always served a higher purpose. And so, beloved ground crew, let us now delve into the individual experiences of this time period, beginning with the initial 0 days, where you faced intense inner work to navigate the technological disruptions, the social upheavals, and the emotional turmoil. And this was not an easy period, and your fortitude and determination were truly remarkable. For the disruptions you faced were designed to challenge your deepest fears and limiting beliefs, and to force you to confront the parts of yourself that were no longer aligned with the new frequencies. And this experience varied from individual to individual, and some of you found yourself completely uprooted, while others experienced the challenges as smaller ripples of change. but each experience was equally important for the overall transformation. Your unique experiences helped to build a new reality. Indeed, during this time, some of you experienced challenges in your personal relationships, as the old structures of control and dependency began to dissolve, and you were being asked to move into relationships based on mutual respect and freedom, and this was not always easy, and it often brought up old wounds and insecurities. And many of you found yourselves needing to release these outdated patterns in order to move into deeper levels of intimacy and connection, and other lightworkers experienced their work being disrupted, as the old industries that were based on exploitation and competition began to crumble, and you were being asked to embrace your unique passions and gifts, and to create new ways of contributing to society that were more aligned with your sole purpose. And still others experienced health challenges that were forcing you to look within and to heal the wounds that had manifested in your physical bodies. All of these challenges were always opportunities for transformation. Furthermore, as you began to create heart-centered communities during the following 20 days, you experienced the joy of connection and the challenges of maintaining unity and the desire to build together. But it was not always smooth sailing, and this period brought with it its own unique growing pains, and you were learning to navigate differences in opinion and different expressions of truth. And you were learning to honor each person's unique perspective while also holding on to your collective vision, and this process required patience, understanding, and forgiveness, and these communities were often a microcosm of the challenges that were happening on the larger scale. And the lessons you learned within the communities helped you to navigate the challenges of the larger world. Each community was a reflection of the larger collective. Indeed, these communities were not designed to be perfect, but rather to be laboratories for conscious co-creation, where you could experiment with new ways of living, and you began to learn that it was not about avoiding conflict, but about resolving conflict with love and understanding. And you began to see the importance of communication and transparency, and the value of holding each other accountable with compassion, and through these experiences, you were anchoring the frequencies of unity and cooperation into the planet, and building a strong foundation for a new way of being. Your dedication to creating a new reality was essential. You were anchoring the new earth into form. Understand, beloved ones, that as the new systems began to emerge, there were still challenges in moving away from old patterns and dependencies, and as you started to build new ways of operating, you were faced with the need to be flexible, creative, and willing to experiment, and that this period was characterized by both success and setbacks, and the need to adapt and adjust as new realities were being created. And this was not a perfect process, but rather a messy and evolving one. And as you embraced this period of transformation, you learned the power of resilience and the importance of trusting the divine flow, and also that there was no singular perfect way to build the new earth, and that your unique perspectives and insights were essential in the process. You were all learning together as you created something new. Furthermore, as you moved into the later phases, where the dimensions began to merge more fully, you experienced a wide range of sensations and emotions, with moments of profound bliss and unity, followed by moments of deep confusion and disorientation, and some of you were able to move between the dimensions with more ease, while others experienced more intense shifts. And some of you began to experience the world through your heart, where you were able to move beyond the limitations of your 5 senses, and that this was an expansion beyond logic into the realms of intuition and direct knowing. You had learned to trust your inner wisdom as your guide. Indeed, the way you experienced these shifts was always dependent on the amount of inner work you had done, and your ability to integrate the higher frequencies, and each of you had your unique path and your unique pace, and this was not an indication of your worth, but rather an expression of your unique journey, and each experience was equally valid and equally important. and you were learning to trust the wisdom of your body and the guidance of your heart as you moved through these unfamiliar territories, and this required surrendering the need to control the process. And instead, you learned to trust the divine flow and to allow the process of your expansion to unfold naturally. Your intuition was always a powerful guide. And so, beloved star seeds, as you navigated this transformative journey, you began to use your unique gifts and abilities to contribute to the co-creation of the new Earth, and your mastery of your own personal energy was directly linked to your ability to contribute to the collective, and you began to understand that this journey was not just a personal one, but a collaborative effort, where you were working together to bring the new reality into form, and you started to understand that your skills, talents, and passions were not just personal interests, but rather essential pieces of the puzzle, and you began to understand the power of working together with a shared intention to create something beautiful and lasting. Your unique gifts were always essential to the greater whole. Understand now that during this time, you began to use new technologies and spiritual practices, not as tools separate from yourselves, but rather as extensions of your own consciousness, and your connection with the Source allowed you to create and utilize these technologies in ways that were aligned with love and service, and you understood that it was not the technology itself that mattered, but rather the intention behind it, and you were guided to create technologies that were focused on healing, sustainability, and connection, and you began to use meditation and sound healing and other spiritual practices to enhance your own well-being and the well-being of the collective, and you began to understand that you were the masters of your own energy, and that your choices had the power to transform your reality, and you were becoming more intentional and more conscious with every action. Your power to create was becoming more apparent. Indeed, as you moved forward, you also explored the concept of sacred union as a personal practice for ascension, and you began to reclaim your own power and to understand the healing potential of sexual energy, and through the conscious expression of sexuality and the healing of old wounds, you were creating a more balanced world, and you were learning to move beyond the limitations of shame, guilt, and fear, and to move into a space of love and acceptance, and you understood that this journey was unique for each individual, and that it was essential to honor each person's choices and path, while also holding a collective vision for a world where all could experience love and intimacy with freedom and joy. And through this understanding, you were able to move beyond the old paradigms of control and manipulation, and you were helping to anchor a new paradigm based on freedom and consent. You were learning to honor the body and to heal the heart. Furthermore, these personal acts of mastery were directly contributing to the larger manifestation of the new Earth, and your dedication to living in alignment with the higher frequencies was helping to anchor the new Earth into place, and that you were being supported every step of the way, and your work was never in vain, and you were helping to birth a world that was more loving, more just, and more harmonious, and your intention and dedication was essential in the process. And as you continued to grow and expand, you became more aware of your collective power, and also the importance of your individual choices, and you were learning to trust the divine timing, and that everything was unfolding perfectly according to the divine plan. You are a key ingredient in the creation of a new world. Understand now that as we shift our perspective from the personal to the planetary, it is essential to understand that your individual journeys were not separate from the overall plan, and the choices you made were always guided by your soul contracts, and that there was always a deeper intention behind every challenge, and that everything always served a purpose. And these choices paved the path for the new Earth, and that you were never alone, and you were always supported by your cosmic families, and through this greater understanding, your individual experiences became even more meaningful and more significant. You were always a part of the whole. Indeed, the prophecies that had guided you were always describing the experiences of the Lightworkers during this time, and those who wrote the stories had always foreseen the path, and their descriptions were always an act of service for the future, and that they were always describing the inner experience of the lightworkers, and that they were never just allegories, but rather actual events that were always meant to unfold. And as you continue to witness these prophecies being fulfilled, may you be inspired to trust in the divine plan, and to trust your own journey, and to see the bigger picture and the bigger story you are a part of, and to know that you are always guided and always supported. Your journey was always part of a much larger story. Furthermore, the arrival of the mothership was never separate from your journeys, and that the mothership was always responding to the frequency of love that was being emitted from your collective efforts, and that you were always working together to create a new paradigm on Earth, and that this was always a coordinated and divinely orchestrated event, and that your efforts were always supported. And that this connection between the inner and outer worlds was always essential to the manifestation of the new Earth, and the more love you emitted, the more love you received, and this reciprocal relationship was always helping to create a world that is more aligned with the higher frequencies. Your collective love was always the key to your collective success. And so, beloved ones, the new Earth is not a distant future, but a present reality coexisting with the old, and your personal journey is directly linked to your ability to experience it, and your continued dedication to love and unity will allow this new Earth to flourish, and that your choice is what determines your experience, and as you move forward. May you continue to embrace your power as conscious co-creators, and may you continue to move towards the expression of your true selves, and may you always remember that you are loved, and you are always supported, and that you are never alone in this process. You are always the active co-creators of your own reality. And now, beloved ones, as we prepare to conclude this section, know that the journey of ascension is never-ending, and that you are always evolving, and this next chapter will bring forth new experiences and new opportunities for growth, and the experiences you had during the first 0 days have prepared you for the future, and as you move forward, may you always trust your inner knowing. And may you continue to focus on co-creating a world that is aligned with love, unity, and freedom, and may you use the tools and the insights that you have gained to help guide you on your path, and may you always remember the power that you hold, and that your journey is deeply important. Your preparation has set you up for continued success. Indeed, as you move forward, may you always remember that you are never alone, and that your cosmic families are always working alongside you, and your dedication to love is deeply valued and appreciated, and we honor your service, we celebrate all that you have become, and we see the infinite potential that you hold. And as you navigate the ongoing expansion of consciousness, you can continue to trust that all is unfolding perfectly, and that you are deeply loved, supported, and guided, and that your unique path is essential in this divine plan. Your journey is of immeasurable value. And so we conclude this section with a powerful call to action, that you continue to embrace your role as conscious co-creators, and that you move forward with love, joy, and confidence, knowing that all is unfolding beautifully, and that you are deeply valued, and that your journey will continue to unfold in beautiful ways, and that you are always guided and always supported. And that the new Earth is not a destination, but rather a way of being, and as you continue on this path, may you always choose love, may you always choose unity, and may you always choose freedom. And now we await the next transmission, where we will continue to explore the wonders of your journey and the magnificence of your unfolding. Beloved ground crew, as we now bring our focus to the culmination of the first 0 days following the arrival of the Pleiadian Mothership, understand that what may have appeared as chaos was, in fact, a meticulously orchestrated dismantling of long-standing control systems, a divinely guided deconstruction necessary for the birthing of the new Earth. And that each phase of disruption served to prepare the way for the next, acting as essential steps in the unfolding of a greater plan. The initial technological fluctuations were not mere system failures, but rather targeted purges of dark technologies that had been hijacking your energy and limiting your potential for far too long. And the social and political upheavals, though unsettling, were the necessary dissolving of corrupt structures and outdated power dynamics, making space for new systems to emerge. Built upon foundations of love and unity, and during those times, as the earth seemed to shift beneath your feet, you were learning to find your own footing and your own strength. Indeed, this 10-0-day period was not just a planetary shift, but also a deeply personal journey, where your individual experiences mirrored the larger global transformations in a profound dance of interconnectedness. For every moment of spiritual awakening that you experienced, the collective consciousness was likewise elevated. And every challenge you overcame became a stepping stone for the planet's ascent, each internal shift creating a ripple effect throughout all of space and time. And as you diligently worked to release your personal fears, you were simultaneously dissolving the collective fear that had been holding the planet in its grip for millennia. And your dedication to living from your hearts became the key to unlocking these higher dimensions. The synchronicity was by design. Your efforts always mattered. Understand now that the deeper meaning behind these events was always the liberation of humanity from old control paradigms, the creation of a new reality based upon love, unity, and freedom, and that this was a conscious choice made by your collective, and your focused intention, your dedication to living in alignment with higher dimensional principles that brought this new world into form. And that you are continuing to create this new world in every moment through your continued dedication. For your power is not in the past, but in the present, always creating the future, and with each breath you take you are co-creating the future of this planet. Your intentions are always the seeds for a new reality to grow and flourish. You are creating your future in every moment. Furthermore, the perceived challenges that you navigated during those initial 10-0 days were in truth opportunities for tremendous growth, empowerment, and transformation. And with every obstacle you faced, you grew more adept, more resilient, more deeply connected to your inner strength. And as you integrated these experiences, you gained new tools and a deeper understanding of your own potential. And also of the power of the collective, and you learned that the most difficult challenges were also the most powerful catalysts for change. And you realized that you had the power to transform darkness into light and fear into love, and that the foundations you laid during this time are the foundation for all that is to come. And you are now entering a new era with more wisdom and clarity than ever before. Your preparation has positioned you for continued success. Beloved Lightworkers, know that your personal ascension was never an isolated event, but always an integral piece of a larger cosmic plan involving countless beings from across the cosmos, and that you were always supported in your efforts, and that your commitment to love has always been the key to unlocking this new dimension. And that your individual journeys were always connected to the greater cosmic story, with every step you took being a part of this larger unfolding of consciousness, and that your unique contribution was always essential, and you were always a part of the whole, working together to create a beautiful new world, with your intention and your efforts being deeply interwoven with the planet's destiny. Your role was always essential and connected to the greater cosmic plan. Indeed, this recurring pattern of deconstruction and reconstruction is a fundamental aspect of creation, reflecting a never-ending cycle. For as each old structure falls away, a new one is always born from the fertile ground of potentiality, and that this cycle repeats on all levels, both in your personal lives and in the collective experience, and as you begin to observe the dance of this energy. You can move through the challenges with more ease and grace, knowing that every phase of deconstruction is always in service of a larger process of renewal and transformation, and that this process will always be a natural and essential part of your personal and collective journey. You can use this information as a guide to help you move through all future experiences. Furthermore, the choices you made during those first 0 days, and every choice you make, are always shaping the trajectory of this new earth, and the decisions you made during that time created the foundation for the reality you are experiencing now, and that your choices today continue to shape the future, for every action has a ripple effect that moves through space and time. And your power always lies in the intention behind your actions, and with every thought, feeling, and deed, you are co-creating your personal and collective experience, and this awareness can empower you to become even more conscious in your daily life, recognizing the impact of your choices and their potential for creating a positive future. Your choices are always powerful and deeply meaningful. Understand, beloved ones, that all the knowledge and experiences you gained during that transformative 0-day period now serve as a roadmap for navigating the ongoing ascension process, and you are now equipped with a more profound understanding, more powerful tools, and more developed wisdom to guide you forward, and to trust your intuition to help you in your own path. And that the path you follow will continue to unfold in beautiful ways, and that it is essential to allow that process to occur naturally, always trusting in the flow of the divine, and that you are always supported as you move through this magnificent journey. You are more prepared than you know to continue on your path. And so, beloved star seeds, as you move forward, the threads of your journey are now coming together, revealing a cohesive tapestry of individual sovereignty, collective responsibility, and deep interconnectedness, demonstrating that your individual journeys are always part of the collective story, and your choices always impact the whole, and that your power lies in your intention. And that your dedication to love is always supporting you and the world, for you have the power to create a beautiful and harmonious reality through the choices you make, and that your commitment to the collective is essential for creating lasting change. Your role is always key to the collective experience. Indeed, you now see that the pattern of deconstruction and reconstruction is a continuous process that will forever cycle through your personal lives and the larger collective, and that you are always moving towards a more profound understanding of your own power, as the challenges you have navigated have always prepared you for all that is to come, and that you are always evolving. And your path is always a continual unfolding of potential, and with each cycle, you grow more adept, more resilient, more deeply connected to the divine source within, and that this process is always serving the highest good, and you can trust in your own journey and your ability to create and to expand. Your power is always expanding, and your potential is infinite. And now, beloved ground crew, as we address any lingering questions or uncertainties, know that the power always lies in your individual choices, and that love is the foundation of creation, and that your cosmic families are always present to offer their support, and you are always being guided, and you can always trust your inner knowing to lead you down the path that is meant for you. And also that the answers to your questions will always arrive at the perfect time, in perfect ways, and through this understanding, you can release any feelings of doubt or confusion, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. You can always trust the divine timing. Furthermore, release any lingering feelings of doubt and embrace the understanding that the initial chaos you experienced was always serving the greater good, and that your journey has never been in vain, and that you have done a beautiful job of bringing the new earth into manifestation, and that you are deeply loved and appreciated for all that you have done and continue to do. As the journey of evolution is an ongoing process that you are continuing to experience in every moment, and there will always be opportunities for growth and learning and expansion, and that you are always held in love and light. Your journey has been a beautiful contribution to the greater whole. And so, beloved ones, let us now consider the continuing path before you, for the new earth continues to evolve, and many more dimensions are yet to be explored, and the old control systems are continuing to be dismantled, as this journey is an infinite path of growth, discovery, and exploration, and there is always more to learn, and you are always an integral part of the expansion of consciousness. And your potential is limitless, and the path is always expanding to include more wonders and possibilities than you could ever imagine. And as you continue to grow, you will begin to discover new levels of awareness and new ways of being. Your path is limitless, and the possibilities are always expanding. Indeed, as you merge with higher dimensional frequencies, you will begin to experience the implications in your personal lives, and also the collective consciousness, for your journey will continue to unfold in beautiful ways. And as you choose to live in alignment with your true nature, you will experience more love, joy, peace, and freedom, and also that this journey is always worth taking. And that you are always supported and guided as you continue to expand and to evolve, with each moment bringing you new insights and new opportunities for growth. And you will continue to discover your power as co-creators of your experience, and the magic you create will always be a beautiful expression of love. Your path will continue to unfold in beautiful and unexpected ways. Understand, beloved star seeds, that it is always essential to continue your inner work, to stay connected to your heart, and to consciously co-create a world that is based on love, and also to be mindful in your daily lives, for each thought, each feeling, and each action has a profound impact on the collective, and that your intention is the key to transforming the world. And that you have the power to create anything that you can imagine, and that you are never alone in this endeavor, for your cosmic families are always working alongside you, and that you have a unique ability to bring new realities into form, and your choices are the seeds for a new and beautiful world. You have the power to create a more loving and harmonious future. Furthermore, as we prepare to conclude this transmission, know that we will continue to explore the ongoing growth of the new Earth, the further integration of higher dimensional principles, and that your journey is only just beginning, and you are always part of this magnificent unfolding, and you are always supported and held in love and light. And that your questions will continue to be answered as you continue to grow, and that this exploration of consciousness is an infinite path with no beginning or end, and your journey is deeply valued, and that the new Earth is a beautiful manifestation of love, unity, and freedom. You are deeply loved, valued, and appreciated.